Diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative NBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
At Kapal Mexican Cuisine, they're celebrating Cinco de Mayo all weekend long. Come to Kapal Mexican Cuisine on Thursday, May 5th with live mariachi music. On Friday the 6th, a DJ plays on the patio. The rest of the weekend, there are new specials on cocktails and tequila. Then wrap up the celebration with a brunch on Sunday. Kapal Mexican Cuisine, 129th and Maple, and at KapalLNK.com. That's KapalLNK.com. Kapal Mexican Cuisine, traditional Mexican food with a modern touch.
Shop Lanahaw Nurseries for all your mulch needs. Best quality mulch at the best price. You'll notice our prices are lower than anybody else's. That's because you're buying your mulch straight from where it's made. Convenient delivery or pickup. Lanahaw Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
Crossover. Oh, killer crossover.
Just a crossover. It just crossed him over. Danced him. Another victim to the crossovers. Crossed him up and set him down.
Time for the crossover. John and Josh are here. Gentlemen, good afternoon.
Hey. Good afternoon.
All right.
I felt like a Pat Lunger good afternoon.
Sure. Absolutely. Who doesn't?
Yeah. We love our Pat Lunger.
Good afternoon.
I mean, it's getting close to political season. So.
Oh, no, we're there.
No, we're in it.
We're there.
What?
We're there.
It's already started?
The commercials have begun airing on 1620 The Zone. That was the official beginning.
Oh.
It's time. It's campaign season, folks.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. We're rolling.
Well, that's all right.
Something
Politicians are people, too.
I guess so, yeah.
Sort of.
That's true. I was going to ask you guys this. I feel like this could, we could get some run out of this. Would you ever do a 5-day milk cleanse?
So you're drinking nothing but milk.
Apparently, that's what Jojo Doman did. After, yeah, just reading this from Evan Bland.
Well, okay.
So Doman has been recovering since Pro Day, which concluded a 12-plus month football marathon. He just finished a 5-day milk cleanse, during which he consumed nothing but whole organic pasteurized milk.
That sounds disgusting.
He says the cleanse will condition his body to reject processed foods, thus forcing him to eat healthier. Now, the alternative is, of course, just eating healthier.
Eat healthier. Yeah.
Right, but if the idea is if he is tempted to eat processed foods, then his body will go into convulsions and he'll know, okay, I can't have those Cheetos.
It's a real hard line, yes.
Yeah, it is. That's an interesting one.
This sounds like something that Tom Brady's guy, Guerrero, would have done.
Oh, the snake oil salesman?
Yeah, drank a bunch of milk, and then you're not going to like Cheetos anymore.
And you hate strawberries.
This sounds fake to me. I would not do that, though. No. But I think milk on its own, I don't like milk just by itself. I'm never like, I need a glass of milk. I need to have something with the food.
I don't mind a milk every now and then.
A glass of milk every once in a while.
I don't know the last time I had regular milk in our fridge. We only have like almond milk for smoothies. But I don't have regular milk ever by itself anymore.
Does almond milk taste bad by itself?
I don't know. I never have it by itself. I just put it in the smoothie.
Oh, have you tried it?
I've never had almond milk just by itself.
Okay.
I usually just drink.
Yeah, I'd rather have, give me the cow's milk. That's what God intended.
That's right.
If I wanted to milk an almond, I don't want to milk an almond.
You don't.
Do you know how much water and natural resources it takes to grow almonds?
I do not.
It's a lot.
Really?
It's a lot. To grow the almonds and everything else, apparently they go through a lot of water.
Those things of almonds at the grocery store are pretty expensive.
Oh, they are.
Like the big tubs of them.
Yeah, almonds and beef jerky are probably two of the highest priced items per pound that you can find.
Almonds per pound.
It's a lot, man. Almonds are expensive.
Hmm.
I love almonds. Don't get me wrong. And I love beef jerky, but you tried to feed a family of 4 on beef jerky.
It is around
you're
the
in
same.
trouble.
Yeah.
That sounds like a rough
Kids,
go.
we're having beef jerky
That's
tonight.
Why don't we do a
expensive,
beef
man.
jerky cleanse?
Yeah, I'd be down with a beef jerky cleanse.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know what it would train my body for, but we should just eat beef jerky only for the next 5 days.
There was a
You'd
time
be in
Happer,
trouble. You'd retain a lot of water. There's a lot
That
of
can't
salt.
be good.
years
There's
ago.
no way.
Our promotions guy, remember Smalls?
Yeah.
Him and a few other people in the office, they did some cleanse every day. And I think it lasted a week. They were trying to go a month, but I think it was just disgusting for them, where they were like blending all sorts of vegetables, and it looked like just the nastiest liquid that they were drinking every single day. They did not look like they were having a good time. But they were like, it's healthy. Like, okay, good luck.
I've always been tempted to try a cleanse, but
Yeah?
then the idea of not eating food.
Yeah, that pretty much stops me every time. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea of going home and grabbing whatever the thing is you're drinking, just instead of having a plate of food, it just doesn't sound good.
I know, man. I just want to
after
be
an hour and a half drive like you have.
Why would you want to ruin eating food for yourself?
Yeah.
That's one of the few awesome things about
I totally agree, Nick. Yes.
About life.
yeah, about life.
Mhm.
Like I love the taste of a thick steak.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do a steak cleanse then. Get back to us. Let us know how it goes.
Steak only.
Probably get gout. Can you get gout from steak? Is that only deli meat?
You don't want gout, trust me.
I don't want gout.
My father had to go through that a couple of times.
Well,
It's not fun.
What could happen? 5 days you only eat steaks.
Probably high cholesterol.
Yeah.
Gain a little weight.
A bunch.
But you're eating delicious food. So that sounds awesome. Win some, you lose some.
Would you get sick of steak? That way, it would probably train your body actually to hate steak.
Yeah, probably. If every meal was steak or it was involved in every meal, you'd probably get a little annoyed by at least a 4.
I'd probably take a steak break for a few months.
Yeah.
No, there would be no steak in my life for a while after that, I don't think.
See, I do, and I think we've talked about this recently. My lunches are usually, there's like 4 or 5 things, and I have them almost all the time for lunch. I don't do a whole lot of different stuff for lunch just because I need something fast and easy as I'm getting ready for work. But dinner, I try to do different things.
So what are the 4 things?
So the breaded shrimp from Costco, love that. Throw it in the oven, very easy, very crispy, very delicious.
Wow, that was a random one.
I love it.
I thought you were going to say sandwich.
Yeah,
Sure thing,
I
but I
was
know
waiting
it,
like
man,
a
for sure.
chicken patty or a sandwich or something.
I do. So
What's the
today,
next
thing?
today I had chicken thighs. Chicken thighs.
Yeah,
Love
thighs.
chicken thighs.
To cook. I do every now and then. I'll make a grilled cheese. Once again, easy, fast, and I don't know. Sometimes like eggs. I'll switch it up.
That is
Instead of
a
eggs.
random force.
I know.
Breaded shrimp.
Yeah, but dude, the breaded shrimp game
I
changer.
mean, when
I
I'm
love
thinking,
shrimp.
And it's kinda
things that are
healthy.
fast, it's bologna sandwich,
Ew, bologna.
can of soup. There's nothing wrong with bologna.
Bologna's gross.
No.
Yeah.
Bologna's not gross.
Bologna's pretty gross.
bologna
No,
is
it's
fun if you're
not.
10.
What do you mean?
Make a ham or turkey sandwich like an
Yeah.
adult, John.
Yeah.
And happer.
Okay, first of
Well,
all,
I'm not
wait a
eating
minute,
bologna
wait a minute,
sandwiches
wait a
all
minute,
the
wait a minute.
time.
Yeah, and I haven't had bologna sandwich in a long time. That used to be the thing I.
Oh, way
I
to
grew up on
backtrack,
that.
John.
No, I
Yeah.
haven't.
Oh,
but,
I never
but
had
what's
them.
wrong with it?
It's gross.
Yeah, I just don't
What
like
do you mean
bologna.
gross?
It's just
Do
nasty.
you eat hot dogs?
Yeah, it's not the same.
hot dogs are way better than bologna.
Basically, if what kind of hot dogs you
Just
getting?
because they're made in the same way
What
doesn't
kind of
mean
hot
they're
dogs
the
are
same.
you having?
I like the Franks.
Full question.
Like which Franks? Like is
hot
there a
dogs or
brand?
bologna?
Is there a
Ooh.
brand name?
No,
for it?
isn't
that
that
out?
Franks or Bar S? I guess Bar S are good.
That is, I mean, you know
there we
what?
go.
You know what that is? That
It
is
doesn't taste
literally
like bologna.
Okay, it may not taste like it, but it's basically
See, but
made
that's
of
the
the
thing.
same
How
stuff.
But that's
you
the
cook it,
thing.
though.
It tastes different. A hot
Well,
dog
then-
tastes
then
different
take
than
the-
bologna.
Then take the bologna and roll it up into a cylinder.
That
Yeah.
sounds
Get like
disgusting.
a hot dog.
That sounds
Make
disgusting.
your bologna look
at
like
the,
a hot
Look at
dog.
the ingredients of the bologna.
I know what
Look
the
at
ingredients are,
of the
John.
Bar S hot
John,
dogs,
are hot-
which, by the way, are some of the cheapest hot dogs you can get.
Okay.
John, are
And it's the
fried eggs
same
not
thing.
different than scrambled eggs, even though it's literally the same thing?
What do you mean?
Is a
It's the
fried egg does
same
fried
thing.
but
Do
does it
sausage
taste-
patties
but does
and
it taste
sausage
different?
links taste the
Do
same?
you think fried eggs taste the same as scrambled eggs? If your answer is no, then you're disproving your own argument against Nick.
No, okay. We're not talking about
Gotcha, fam.
eggs.
Thanks,
We're
John.
not talking about eggs here. We're talking about. I'm just saying the ingredients.
It's
in
not
the
the same.
bologna.
But it's not
Yeah,
the
it
same.
It's not
is.
the same.
Yeah, it is.
It's
I'm
not.
telling you, man. If you did a blind taste test and didn't know, you probably wouldn't be able to do
You're
it.
right.
Bologna-
Ham and sausage both taste the same.
I didn't say ham
No,
and
no, no.
sausage. I'm saying
aren't the same.
the processed
But
foods.
John,
the
when you have
ground up
bologna,
foods.
is it cold or do you cook it?
Well, I mean, when you have the sandwiches, you
It's cold. Nick, we're talking about hot dogs. We cook hot dogs.
We do cook hot
But
dogs.
you can
the contents are the same.
You
But
can
even
fry
in-
the bologna too.
Even an
I wouldn't do
uncooked
that, though.
hot
I
dog
wouldn't buy
doesn't
it.
taste like bologna.
Yeah.
There's a taste difference there.
Have you ever
it's
eaten
not-
an uncooked hot dog?
Yes, I've eaten an uncooked hot dog before.
I haven't. That's
That sounds gross.
It's not great, but
You've never had
sometimes
an
you need a quick
uncooked hot
snack.
dog ever in
No.
your whole life?
Like
I
not
think
even at a
so.
babysitter. They're just
Wow,
like,
as a
"Here."
kid?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't remember.
Oh, they're garbage.
That's
Yeah.
like
They're not
40
good.
It's like 45 years ago. I was at a babysitter,
That's true. It's been a long
fair.
time.
and I
for
would have
John.
insisted that the hot dogs be cooked.
Did they have hot
that.
dogs back then?
They were a little different back then.
No, I'm serious though. The ingredients in the bologna are and those types of hot dogs virtually identical.
I found an article.
Okay.
Round hot dogs. What to know about the confusing twist on the classic American dish. Bologna is essentially a very large hot dog that is sliced into slices.
But that's not what Nick was saying. Nick was saying
And-
that they taste different.
And so,
Hot
what
dogs
is
aren't as
being shared
slimy.
is basically bologna. And
Bologna's
there's
not slimy.
a lot of
You get
different
the right
styles of bologna. But one of the styles is large hot dog that's sliced into slices.
Large hot dog.
Weird.
You could probably if there was some kind of device, you could drill into the big old round of bologna and pull it out and make it like a hot dog and cook it the same way. You probably wouldn't tell
Yeah.
the difference.
I'd be down to try it.
I just
but-
found that exact story you were reading from, Hap. Fox 2 Detroit. That's
Yes,
awesome.
that's the
Oh,
one.
They're hitting
good
on the
source.
important topics in Detroit.
They are.
Well, that's good. I'm glad they are.
Yeah. Coming
Somebody's
up next,
gotta
the
cover it.
Pistons. But first, hot dogs.
Well, I mean, the Pistons haven't been good in 30 years.
It's
so
been a while. Hey, they won the title in 04 against my beloved Los Angeles
They
Lakers.
did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're a
Well,
Lakers guy?
That's a
Oh, yeah.
forgettable period of the NBA.
I don't care as much. When I was growing up, I was like a diehard.
Wow.
Like I would watch every national TV game that they were on and all the playoffs.
You don't have a baseball team either, so you probably like the Yankees.
No, Red Sox.
Yeah,
Before they got good, though. Before
Are
they
you
got-
sure?
I swear, I rooted for them in 03, and then they won the title in 04.
Yikes.
Indeed.
Oh, poor Josh.
Yeah,
It's tough.
Yeah. It's
So
hard
you were
life.
really offended by winning time.
I
assume.
love. Oh my gosh! I was telling somebody recently.
Fake Jerry West is
So
the
last
best.
week, fake Jerry West, after the Lakers, spoiler alert, beat the Celtics, he flips off the limo driver.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw this one last night.
And I want,
Perfect.
okay, good. I wanted to go and take a screenshot of it. So I go to HBOmax.com. They have it set up where
Yeah.
you can't take screenshots.
It's amazing.
Because I wanted to tweet that. I'm like, how is Jerry West going to sue them after this episode? Where he flips off the guy. That was so funny.
Yeah.
It's a great show. It's a
And-
great
and
show.
the most
Larry
recent one-
Bird's hilarious, spitting in his
he's
Budweiser can the whole
fantastic.
time.
He doesn't care about anything.
No.
Now, a sneaky funny part about that whole sequence. So they're showing this
When he turns the
Celtics
game on and off and on
He
and
turns
off.
it on and off, but then he's opening the door and he's yelling at the officials. He can't see the game, so he has no idea if the
No.
calls are actually bad or not. But he's
No.
like, "Oh, the Reds are screwed us, they're screwed us."
He's sitting there in the limo screaming the F word at nothing.
Right? Yeah, and he keeps turning the radio on and off, on and off, on and off.
There's the part in the last episode where he's like, his trophy or his statue like comes to life and it's
Yes,
yelling the F
he's,
word.
yeah, he's talking. You haven't seen the newest
I
one
haven't
yet?
seen.
Yeah,
No,
he starts yelling at his MVP trophy, and the trophy's yelling at him. It's so funny.
It's actually one of the better
Oh.
characters that is on
I
TV
love
right now.
love
is a-
fictional Jerry West.
it is a great character. It's
He's such a psycho. Did you see the statement that the HBO came out with today?
I heard that they were defending.
So
they
they
said,
said-
we ain't going nowhere.
So this is great. So first of all, they say we have a long history of producing compelling content drawn from actual facts and events that are fictionalized in part for dramatic purposes. Winning Time is not a documentary and has not been presented as such. However, the series and its depictions are based on extensive factual research and reliable
Oh,
sourcing.
yes.
And HBO stands resolutely behind our talented creators and cast who have brought a dramatization of this epic chapter in basketball history to the screen. So they're like,
They doubled down.
this is fictional, but we got some sources.
But we did some research.
Jerry West talked to his statue. We've read about it.
That's fantastic.
Oh, that's what I was thinking the other day when you guys were talking about the controversy. Maybe these guys are so against it and saying it's wrong because it's actually more true.
They doth protest a little too much.
Well,
They
I-
doth protesting
I'm
much.
gonna give Jerry West the benefit of the doubt here. When I hear from real Queen Cersei that she thought she was depicted wrong in Game of Thrones, then I'll believe.
Yeah.
Then I'll believe, that there's something going on.
It keeps happening in TV. HBO done this many, many times, including Game of Thrones, which was a very real story.
Very real. We all remember where Westeros is on the globe.
Well, yeah, it's real. I mean, the bottle of water, we saw that. We all had that bottle of water.
I forgot about the
bottle
Starbucks
of
cup.
water.
The Starbucks cup.
Well, there was a bottle of water.
There was
too.
a bottle of water.
Yeah, there was a bottle of water on the set that made the shot and the Starbucks.
What, they can't have clean drinking water in Westeros?
Yeah, good for Westeros. Very progressive on the waterfront. Now, not on the killing
Well, but
front,
is it?
The entirety of the north
not a
is
great
water.
idea. I mean, you're
It's
wasting
better than the
plastic.
water you're drinking in Westeros. You want
Well,
that
how do
water?
you know?
Salt water?
I'm sure they had good water treatment plants in the North
They
Country.
have magic. Can't they just?
That's true. They have
That's
dragons.
right.
Why can't they just, heat up the water, get all the,
Just
pesticides out of it?
Was
go
it
on the
Aaron
other side
Rodgers
of the
in that
wall,
show?
scoop up some snow, and
Yeah,
melt it.
exactly.
The guy who, Aaron Rodgers, the guy who was Aaron Rodgers in the show, how do you think that guy feels?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. And it wasn't Aaron Rodgers, right? We thought it
Aaron
was.
Rodgers, I don't
He
know.
says it wasn't.
Man, that guy
He
looks
says
like
it wasn't, but we actually did still shots of that
Yeah,
to
we
see
did.
to see if that was actually him. That
We
got
discussed
torched by
the important
dragon.
things on this show.
We did.
Oh, man.
Remember when that show was good?
I did, man. It was definitely before that season. That's for sure.
Long time ago.
Mhm.
I did not see HBO's statement on that, which is absolutely fantastic.
So funny.
Like, yep,
So
this
funny.
is it's dramatized. And I did notice. I don't know if they did it in the other episodes because I wasn't paying attention before that, but they put it up plain as day before the episodes. Now, this is a dramatization.
I didn't notice it early on either, but people have
Yeah.
been saying that.
Well,
it was
and it's
there for episode
also
1.
when the episode ends and they show written by or directed by, I can't remember which credit goes first. Literally, the next slate
Yeah.
is the same thing.
Yeah, they make it very clear.
That
This is fake.
This is
But
an
we have
action-
good sources.
That's what they should add next week down below in parentheses.
But we have good
But
sources.
we have sources.
The statue didn't actually talk
Right.
back.
I know, exactly.
I did while we're on TV, Josh tweeted about Better Call Saul last night. I haven't watched the first couple episodes of the new season.
Oh boy.
But I clicked on your tweet.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. That sucks. Yeah, because there were
What,
some
you
people who
tweeted
were,
about it?
I just said Better Call Saul. That's
He
all I
just said Better Call Saul. It was
the
not
responses.
but there
the
was
responses.
the responses.
Yeah.
I can't say I didn't see that coming at some
No,
point, but
no, for sure. Well, and we'll discuss.
Is it
Yeah.
about time to mute some words? On
I just
Twitter?
have to watch it.
Well, really,
I'm
if
not
you
mad.
don't
I'm
want to
not
get
mad.
spoiled for Better Call Saul, you probably just should mute RIP. I mean, really, because just anytime somebody
it's going to start
dies-
happening now.
Yes. Yeah.
What I really need to do is actually just watch the show.
Is she listening right now?
Who?
Your wife?
No.
Okay, so here's what you need to do. Just get caught up.
Well, I don't know.
Just get caught up, and then you're in season 2. Just watch season 2 with her, but you get caught up.
No, I know. Yeah.
When you go home, just go home, get caught up right now. You're good to go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I've seen
It's
the
gonna
rest
take
of
some
it.
time though. I mean, if you're
Yeah, you got 3 episodes to watch happen.
oh, I guess it's only you're only 3 behind.
Yeah.
So
you're gonna
he's
say- okay.
currently caught up except for the new.
I've
stuff.
seen the rest of it except for the
Ah,
new stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to get caught up.
Yeah.
It's because it's gonna.
Because then we could talk about it in the crossover.
It's gonna get really
It
good
could be our Tuesday crossovers.
Perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
because that's what we used to do with Nick
For Game of Thrones.
for Game of Thrones.
Uh-huh.
And then the last season happened.
And then we were just basically bitching about it every week. This sucks.
That's like at the beginning of the pandemic. We just talk about stuff that was on TV last night.
Exactly.
Hey, what'd you do last night? I took a walk.
Yeah.
Watched the guys play horse.
Michael and Damon watched The Wire. Like, that's what they did.
Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah.
Some people made a numbers bracket.
Some people did make a numbers bracket. Those people are cool.
Like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Well, I'll get out of here.
All right.
Get out of here.
Okay.
Go away.
Go have some bologna.
I don't love bologna. I don't mind bologna. What's this whole thing against bologna, Nick?
It's just not good.
It's fine.
I didn't like it when I was a kid. When
It's
you're supposed to like it.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Then I would stop. First of all, you should graduate up to a better hot dog.
Give
I'm
me
just
ham.
saying.
Give me turkey.
Just graduate up to a better hot. Get the ballpark
Ham and
first.
turkey, great.
I don't
Love
eat
ham
hot
and
dogs
Sure
that
get
much.
brats. Yeah, brats.
I do like brats. I don't eat hot dogs that much.
Yeah,
Oh,
same.
I
I don't
thought
have
you
hot
did.
dogs very much anymore.
That's
I'm a brat guy.
well, brats are fine too.
Yeah. Indeed.
All
See you
right.
guys.
That is
Bye-bye.
the crossover with Sir Connor
Whoa, sir.
coming up. We've got a good program for you today. And Frosty highlights.
Awesome.
Just when you thought he was out, he pulls us back in. And some interesting things, and Josh will probably go off on at least one thing he said.
Oh, exciting.
You don't even know what you're going to react
I
to
don't know.
yet.
We'll find out.
We'll find out next on 1620 The Zone.
Your Omaha area forecast from Canoyer Garden Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Sunny and more mild Tuesday after a chilly start. Wind will be light through the morning and then becoming breezy in the afternoon with south winds gusting around 20 miles per hour. Highs around 70. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
When it comes to cement fiber siding, you want durability, hail and chip resistance, and beauty. You want James Hardie cement fiber siding. Carp's Complete Home Exteriors is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. Call Carp's today or visit carpsomaha.com.
Give your business a whole host of options with Host Coffee. The most impressive selection of office coffee, water options, healthy food options, and vending technologies. Host Coffee, serving you since 72.
Spring means getting stuff done, like cutting, shoveling, and planting. Looks like you're in for a busy weekend. Better grab a 5-Hour Energy with vitamins, caffeine, and nutrients. It will help you cut those chores and those weeds down to size. 5-Hour Energy tastes great, and it works fast. So grab that shovel, power up that mower, and turn on the sprinkler. It's time to make your yard the envy of the neighborhood. 5-Hour Energy for every weekend to-do list. For more information, visit 5hourenergy.com.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Are you tired of living with chronic pain, knee pain, joint pain? Listen carefully, because now there are new treatments available. I'm not talking surgery or steroids. These are regenerative treatments from the medical professionals at QC Kinetics. Hey, this is Damon Benning. QC Kinetics is the leader in these exciting biological therapies that help restore and repair damaged tissue in joints with lasting results. If you've got a pain in your knees, shoulders, hip, or back, joint pain that won't go away, you need to check out these new treatments with astonishing patient satisfaction reports. They can actually help your body restore and repair itself. No downtime, no drugs, no surgery. That is right in my wheelhouse. Call now to schedule your free consultation at QC Kinetics, 402-205-4960. You need to learn more about how biological therapies are changing the way you think about dealing with joint pain. It's exciting stuff. Don't wait. Call today. QC Kinetics, 402-205-4960. That's 402-205-4960.
Hey Tapper, join Josh and I this Friday at Warner Park before the Omaha Storm Chasers host the Toledo Mud Hens. The Chasers are back in action with an exciting team full of future Major League stars, so join the Connor Happer Show Friday at Warner Park on 1620 The Zone.
Spring is in the air, but are you ready for summer? Team up with Genesis Health Clubs today and you'll be ready. We're inviting you to be your absolute best this summer. No compromises, no regrets, just you, full of the sort of confidence only fitness can bring. This is your summer to feel great, look great, and have more energy. Start your membership at Genesis Health Clubs and save $25 per month every single month. $25 per month every single month. Hurry, just 4 days left. This summer is for you. Get yourself mentally and physically ready for vacations, pool parties, and barbecues in just a few short months. But you don't have to wait. You can start to feel better and have more energy today while you work towards your fitness goals. You are worth it. Join Genesis Health Clubs today and save $25 per month every single month. Hurry, just 4 days left. Join Genesis Health Clubs today and save $25 per month every single month. Summer is coming, and this is going to be your best summer ever. But hurry, this offer ends soon. Go to GenesisHealthClubs.com or stop by the club today. Hurry, just 4 days left.
Did you know that radon is the #1 cause of lung cancer for non-smokers and that our region has some of the highest levels in the country? Radon Defense Midwest can test and fix your home. Visit radonradio.com for an exclusive offer for 1620 The Zone listeners. That's radonradio.com.
Dingman's Collision Center. We would rather be the best than apologize for anything less.
This edition of Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone is proudly presented by Union Bank and Trust. The program starts now.
KOZN. Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone. Husker Athletics, Creighton, and yes, UNO. Don't miss a moment, they'll give you your fix. They're We're on every day from 2 until 6. Spend your afternoons with John, Josh, and Nick. John, Josh, and Nick. They'll show you what sports talk really is.
I feel better though, Josh. I thought the NBA was rigged, but then the Celtics won last
The
night.
Celtics won. The NBA is on the up and up.
Thank God.
Big Boston guy. Gross.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone. Husker Athletics, Creighton, and yes, UNO.
I was going to say, those are the people that should probably be upset with their portrayal, but then I thought, wait a minute, it's Boston fan. They were portrayed accurately.
Yeah, if anything, they were too soft on him.
Yeah, in the winning time.
Not enough racism from the Boston faithful in winning time. Not enough racism.
Welcome to the program, everybody, on
Hello.
this Tuesday. Glad to have you with us. It was nice to be able to drive here without blowing all over the road.
Yeah, how about that?
That was awesome.
The world's not coming to an end, right?
Not yet.
No, the world's not coming to an end.
I'm not used to not having wind
I know.
pushing me everywhere.
Don't worry, Nick. It'll probably be back in a couple days.
Oh,
have no fear. The wind will return soon enough.
Don't make another weather prediction.
Soon enough. The wind is. How about? What if I say the wind is done? Will my powers reverse it?
I don't even know if I want to test that right now.
Because then it'll probably actually get worse.
Right.
No, if I say the wind is done, then it would. No, the wind is not done.
gotta
There
be
you
your
go.
ball.
Yeah, I got you. I got everybody.
Put it on the list.
Uh-huh.
Frosty highlights today. Scott Frost was on the radio last night.
Awesome. An
People-
update on Thomas Fedoni?
No, not really.
Okay.
Not really.
Okay.
I mean,
An update on how many times he rewatched games last year. We get that update.
Well,
he was binging the season, some would say.
He was binging the season.
Uh-huh.
He was binging the season. Mike Farron will be along. Michael Bruntz. So a lot to get to today.
Mhm.
402-951-1620. If you want to join us on the hotline, that was your Rooferees lineup powered by the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. And the J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Still your Twitter, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
At USC 1620.
Oh, yeah. Casey, Mike's mom, who is on the J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter feed, says, I have some buns that are ready for your hot dogs. So there you go. Some more hot dog talk. We did get a tweet from the amazing Daniel about almond milk. He says, as someone who unintentionally quit drinking milk like a decade ago, I can't imagine what drinking only that for days would do to me. Okay, I can imagine. By the way, John is right. Ouch. About almond milk. Oat milk is a better option if you want to be environmental. So there you go. I actually started going with almond milk for my smoothies just because there were fewer calories in it than there were regular milk. So it was less about taste and more just about trying to cut off the calories. So like
Why
him.
don't you just get is it less calories in the 1% or the skim?
Oh, yeah.
The 1%.
Almond milk has an incredibly low amount of calories
So
compared
basically it's almond water is what it is.
Basically, yeah.
How is
That
it with
that
like
doesn't sound
cooking
good.
though? Like if I want to make some mac and cheese or hamburger helper.
I don't do the cooking in our home because I'm not a very good cook. So
You'll
I
have
have
to
no
try
idea.
that yourself.
I named two
She
very
usually will-
easy things to make.
Well, when I make mac and cheese, I make like shells and cheese or I make the blue box. So I don't do it from scratch.
Right. Well, that's
Yeah.
the blue box. That's what I'm talking.
Oh,
if you do the blue box,
I haven't had that
is-
in years, so
okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize. I would go buy regular milk if I was going to make that, though.
Right. Because
If I was going to do that, I'd bet 2%.
I want to try the almond or the oat milk, but
Mhm.
I also use it to cook.
Yeah, indeed. So
Well,
there you go. That's milk talk.
I said that there were some Frosty highlights last night, and
Hmm.
we'll have most of them coming up. But I
Okay.
did want to play this one here right off the top because he was asked if he had been watching some of the games. He was asked a
Better
question.
Call Saul. Have you been watching
No,
Better
no.
Call Saul?
He was asked. Was there a common theme between
yeah.
all the losses and everything like that? And it did lead to this answer.
When you look back on it, what's the biggest reason that we didn't get over that hump? And what are we doing for this season to correct those type of problems?
Well, yeah, I've watched all those games probably 50 times a piece. So, yeah, I relive it too often. What's interesting about it is it was kind of something different in every game. I mean, one game it was field goal and an extra points, and another game it was a block punt, and another game it was punting the ball offline, and another game was a fumble on a 2-minute drive and not scoring on the one. And it seemed like it was a few different things. And believe me, we've talked about it and are working on it. And I think what we really need is just kind of the killer instinct to finish. And what's interesting about that is when you win a couple games and you get a little bit of belief, that comes. And it's a chicken and the egg thing. You got to win to get the confidence. You got to have the confidence to win. But we need to get a little wind under our sails and start rolling with some momentum. And something we haven't really been able to do yet, and hope we can, so that a lot of those close games go our way.
So it's kind of back to the same old, if we just get a win.
We really are going to, thank you, Nick. We really are about to just pretend it's last off season all over again, huh? Wind under the sails. Yeah,
Sure.
that was really sad though when he just started naming the ways in which they lost all those games last year.
Well, and I mean, it's not
There was this way, there was
not that
this
he's
way, there
lying.
was this way. No. Also, if he's rewatching all these games 50 times,
I say, do we think that's legit or an exaggeration?
that's a lot of rewatching.
Well, yeah,
That'd be a bummer.
Did he watch all of them 50 times? No.
Or maybe it was
He's
like
probably
specific
watched pieces
plays.
of them several times.
Yeah.
Yes, because he's probably looking at specific things. But yeah,
I hope he hasn't rewatched the second half of the Michigan State game 50 times, because that sounds like a miserable existence.
Well, actually, it sounds like a great existence if you stop it with about 3 minutes to go in the game.
Hey, we won.
Yeah.
Can we just end it right here? That's a good point.
You just take that tape into Chins and say, you see what you did there for the first 27 minutes? If we keep doing that, I think we'll be all right.
We'll be national champs.
And then Chins will bring the last 3 minutes in, plus the overtime, show it to Frosty. Say, and if we stop doing this, we'll win.
Riley says something different in every game, quoting Scott Frost, is an interesting way of saying we're bad at a lot of things.
I like to imagine that he's just following these different Husker TikTok accounts, and that's how he's watching the replays.
Oh no, that sounds like a horrible existence. That sounds like an even worse existence than actually rewatching the whole games 50
That'd
times.
be an easy way to get up to 50.
Scott Frost on TikTok. That's an interesting world to imagine.
I don't think he's on TikTok.
I would be very surprised.
I don't think he's on
I'd be very surprised if he wakes up and gets on Twitter like all of us do. Like, hey, what happened?
Oh.
What happened overnight? Did anything funny happen on Inside the NBA?
I bet Frost has some hunting TikToks.
You think so?
Yeah.
No way. All right, that's the next for the journalists in the state who actually get a chance to talk to Scott Frost. So like 3 of you in the offseason. Next time you chat with him, ask him if he has a TikTok account that he uses for hunting. There you go.
Well, coming up, we'll have the rest of Frosty highlights because there were some other interesting things that were said.
Yeah.
In there. And Mike Farron and Michael Bruntz and you.
The people.
And don't forget, you can always watch us.
Yeah.
On 1620 The Zone TV. In fact, I did go to the app. It's on the app too.
We're on the app?
We're on the app.
You have to click an extra button to get over there, but it's there.
Okay.
If you go to the app and you scroll down a little bit to where it says 1620 The Zone Live TV and click on that,
you can watch us directly on the app.
You can watch us on the app.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's there, it's up, it's
there.
real,
It is,
and it's spectacular.
All right.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Exactly.
There it is. Click play.
When do you think we're going to make it to the metaverse?
I hope never.
What is that?
1620 the metaverse.
Is that the new name for the Facebook?
It's something the Facebook's. It's like the virtual world Zuckerberg's trying to make, where people escape to.
Well, he ruined Facebook, so.
Yep.
Oh, no, it was the other guy who ruined Facebook.
No, he's the one who invented it. BTD says, Josh, why don't you invite Frost on? We actually have before. We've tried.
Yeah,
he ignored our texts. Very sad.
They kind of keep him on the lockdown.
Yeah, I don't think he's allowed on our station.
Yeah.
But if he wants to come on, we'd love to have him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I have no problem with that at all.
Mhm.
In fact, later in the program, because I was reading Mitch Sherman. He did his State of the Program on Nebraska today.
Yeah.
And there's always the intriguing section where you get other coaches from other schools to dish anonymously.
Dish with the bish.
I'm going to stand up for Scafra.
Oh.
I'm going to stand up for Nebraska on this.
Against the unnamed coach.
Against the unnamed, the coward who won't even put his
your
name
name
out there.
on it,
Put your
coach.
name out there on it.
Brett Bielema. Maybe.
Put your name out there, Kirk Ferentz. You know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
But Yeah, there were some things I read there. It's like, let's not go crazy with this. But it also shows you too how, even now, after you think Nebraska's been properly beaten down enough by the rigors of the Big Ten,
there
more. Are still people in the Big Ten that still have it out for Nebraska.
That's how rivalries work.
So we have rivalries.
That's how it works when you come in very cocky.
I like it.
That's how it works.
Even though a lot of the coach outside of Ferentz and Fitzgerald, there are no other coaches that are still in the Big Ten since Nebraska joined, right?
Oh, like the OGs?
Yeah, they're all gone. Every school has changed out a coach at least once,
except for
Iowa and Northwestern.
You are correct.
So those old,
Yeah, but when Frost came in, he talked a big game. That was only a few.
Sure.
That was only a few years ago.
Sure.
Plus, it's Nebraska. People like Nebraska being bad. It's like the Cowboys. The Cowboys haven't won anything of note, I know, in decades. People still love it when they lose. Do you not love it when they lose? That's Nebraska.
Well, I do, but I dislike the Cowboys.
People dislike Nebraska.
Well, when you say people, who are you talking?
Everybody that's not a Nebraska fan. People love Nebraska failing. Have you not read college football?
Wow, are you going all national conspiracy theory?
No, this isn't conspiracy. Is this not a fact that people love it when Nebraska loses?
Well, I think
they find it hilarious.
I think it's a fact on the other side of the river for sure.
I think it's a fact everywhere. Why
That's
wouldn't it be? This place talks such a big game, and then they lose every year.
That's an interesting theory. I'm not saying you're wrong necessarily.
I know. I'm just surprised that you're surprised.
Yeah.
The bad team that talks a lot of trash to everybody then loses. What would you do if that was a team that you disliked? You'd love it.
Right, but in order to rise to the level of being disliked, don't you have to have at least some relevancy? And Nebraska's
Cowboys.
Sad to say.
The Cowboys. They don't have relevancy anymore, and yet.
Oh, yes, they do.
I know they're America's team. Pete, this is college football, though, man. Notre Dame went decades without being relevant, and people still loved it when they were bad.
Right, but that's Notre Dame.
This is Nebraska. Holier than thou attitude in the 90s, winning a lot of games. Greatest fans in college.
Interesting theory you have there. Maybe we'll pick on that a little bit later. If we don't
like
get
a scab,
pick on it like a scab. There's
Perfect.
Josh picking at Nebraska like a scab. 402-951-1620. If you agree or disagree with Josh,
yeah,
if you agree or disagree with
yell at us.
Please do. And you again watch us on the Zone TV because it's at 1620 The Zone right now, and it is now on the app. So check it out today, and we'll be back with more in a minute on 1620 The Zone.
Win $5,000 to give your garage a spring makeover. Or a $2,500 gift card from Langfeld Overhead Doors. It's the 5K Garage Makeover. Get all the details and enter to win at 1620thezone.com. From Langfeld Overhead Doors and 1620 The Zone.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
That's the sound of one of my favorite customers ever. His name's Jeremy. His dad Frank called me when it was time to replace their drafty old windows and to take advantage of our limited time sale. As a dedicated Pella advisor, I make getting new windows and doors simple. And when it comes to installation, nobody does it like Pella. Our local team can typically install in just a day.
For 0% APR or $500 off your project, go to PellaOmaha.com/radio. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details. Offer ends April 30th.
Rossi Clothiers. When you've done something as long as Charlie has, in this case, over 30 years, you're probably really good at what you do. The key to success is longevity. Rossi Clothiers, known for their timeless, unique wardrobe staple pieces, made-to-measure sport coats, suits, from casual wear to shoes and accessories. Charlie is as good as it gets. Great location, tucked in Rockbrook Village. When you're thinking elevated, timeless menswear, think Rossi Clothiers, not like any other men's store in town. Rossi Clothiers.
Frank's Pizzeria has a new location. Just like their original location at 132nd and West Dodge, their new location at 72nd and Q is making the same delicious New York pizza. At Frank's Pizzeria, they make their dough fresh every day and top it with handmade sauce, fresh ingredients, and top-shelf buffalo mozzarella cheese. They even make their own Italian sausage. Wash it down with a cold beer and awesomeness ensues. Frank's Pizzeria for nearly 20 years at 132nd and West Dodge. And now, check out their new location at 72nd and Q.
Join the Omaha Storm Chasers at Warner Park every Saturday for Bands and Brews, presented by J&M Displays and Warner Enterprises. Each week will feature a different pregame concert and local craft brewery the hour before first pitch. Don't miss live music and happy hour beer specials. Find details on each Saturday's Bands and Brews at omahastormchasers.com.
Omaha Storm Chasers family. Everyone get on your feet, stir up the storm with family.
Starting a small business requires strange tactics. I started my business in the basement of a factory in 1986. There was no heat, no air conditioning, and I used blankets as my office walls. Instead of customers, my visitors were rats, birds, flies, and snakes, and I was broke. To psych myself up that I was going to succeed, I wore formal business attire and a tie to that lonely factory basement every day. Strange? Yeah, I looked like a goof, but I didn't care. I had my late model 1970s mustache to comfort me. Hi, I'm Mike Capel. Now, 30 years later, I still use strange business tactics like making payroll simple and incredibly inexpensive for small businesses. Our payroll starts at just $10 a month. Go to patriotsoftware.com and enter promo code RADIO, and I'll give you 2 months of payroll processing free. That's patriotsoftware.com.
Did you know that radon is the #1 cause of lung cancer for non-smokers and that our region has some of the highest levels in the country? Radon Defense Midwest can test and fix your home. Visit radonradio.com for an exclusive offer for 1620 The Zone listeners. That's radonradio.com.
This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone.
BTD adds a 1620 The Zone special. John and Josh on the hunt with Scott Frost. You can go on a hunting or fishing trip. And then Chance, also on the video page, says he's quoting Scott Frost as a TikToker.
Sure.
Morning, TikTok. It's your boy Scott. Just got a new camo hat from Larry the Cable Guy. Going to be doing an unboxing vid in about an hour.
Ooh, what's he unboxing?
The camo hat from Larry the Cable Guy.
He's unboxing the hat?
That's how I read this.
That's a dumb thing to unbox. It's a hat.
Well, unboxing is very weird to me too, Nick. So, to each their own.
Oh, this pattern.
You know what this is? Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
I have no idea what you guys are talking
All right, so people will get like a video game system.
Okay.
They'll open the box.
Sure.
That's the video. They'll be like, look, it has a controller.
They open it slowly, though.
Oh, so it's watching people open their gifts.
Yeah.
So it's like every
John, and people make
post-wedding shower ever, or wedding
Yeah, that's a
shower
great way to describe it.
Okay.
The biggest market for this is children age 7, because then parents get their kids gifts and then have those kids unbox them and exploit them for views.
I'm shocked.
Yeah. So there you go. Unboxing vids coming soon to a Scott Frost TikTok near you.
Well, Joe in Phoenix wants to agree with you.
Because I have good takes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hey, Joe, what's going on, man?
Oh, just living the dream one day at a time. Hey,
Mhm.
by the way, I was back in your glorious state this last weekend to celebrate my father's 82nd birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Is the wind ever going to stop back there?
It actually is kind of okay today,
Yeah,
thankfully,
it
but it'll
finally
probably be
did
back
today.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, it was bad.
Especially Saturday. Saturday was horrible.
But Joe, we already know you think this place is a hellhole. You
Yeah,
think your place you
Phoenix,
live
blah,
is
blah,
great,
blah. It's
Who
warm in
cares?
Phoenix.
Why do you agree with Josh?
Because I'm smart.
Well, because he's right. I mean, here, let me just preface this as well. And Nick, you might want to mark this down because this is going to be something you're going to want to replay over and over again.
Taste of our
Josh
takes.
has been right. I'm sorry. Josh has been right for as far as Nebraska football goes for the last year and a half. Everything the man says is right on the money. Whether it be the myopic coaching by the head coach and its assistants, the fact that the defensive line is going to be just absolutely terrible this year. The fact that the offensive line is going to be a sieve, and the fact that he did today say that the nation outside of the state of Nebraska hates Nebraska and loves the fact that they're struggling. And let me tell you why. He pointed this out, and I can tell you this from someone who now lives away from there. Nebraska fan outside of the state of Nebraska is probably one of the top 4 or 5 most annoying fan bases in college football. And like Josh says, they talk all this crap, and we've sucked for the last 5 years. And for Nebraska standards, we've sucked for the last 22. And then you have these idiot fans that are drinking the Kool-Aid still that support this clown who's 15 and 29. And like John, you said the other day, you can change all the assistant coaches in the world. You can change the arms and the legs, but if the head's still the same and it's still coming from the same brain, it ain't going to matter what happens. We can just only sit here and dream that come October 3rd, when Nebraska's 2-6, that Trev's finally got a list together. So hopefully sometime by this time next year, Josh can start being wrong again about football takes when it comes to Nebraska. But as long as Scott Frost is there, and as long as he's the head coach at the University of Nebraska, everything that Josh Peterson says should just be considered the word of God.
Now mark that, Nick. There we go. Hell yeah. Everything Josh Peterson says is the word of God.
I marked it, but I'm not happy about it.
Oh, come on.
You can cut it out yourself.
Come on.
Now, don't worry, because I will say something on Twitter that will piss Josh off, and he'll call me an idiot like he normally does, or
he'll
do something.
Yeah.
But as far as Nebraska football goes, as long as Scott Frost is still the head coach, Josh Peterson is the only authority in the Nebraska media that you need to listen to as far as what we should think about Nebraska football.
How much did you pay this guy?
Nothing.
The word of God.
Checks in the mail, Joe.
All right, Joe. Thanks.
Thank you, Joe.
Good to hear from you.
Wow.
Now, first of all,
Is this true? Word of God?
First of all, they are different things. I mean, Joe's crediting you for your critiques of Nebraska football, which you've hit on quite a few. I'm not saying you haven't. The conversation, though, going back to
this actual discussion?
everyone outside of the state hates Nebraska.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you in that. Yes, there are people that are probably laughing right now, but this is different from 1995 when people were tired of seeing Nebraska win all the time, and they were the bad guys because of, we all know the stories.
Yeah.
And it's not like the Patriot envy that exists where people are just tired of seeing the Patriots win all the time. A lot of that's faded away. So when you say, hey, people are excited to see Nebraska lose, I don't know if that's necessarily the right way to put it. I don't think people aren't going, oh, darn, I wish Nebraska were good again. But at the same time, I don't think Nebraska's been at that point of relevancy to where they're taking extra glee in them being bad outside of the Big Ten region and the people who really, really follow this.
Yeah.
That's my take on it. But you think that it's more universal.
Definitely. I think part of it too was a couple of years ago, what Nebraska did and said in 2020.
And that's a great point, though I wonder how much of that, well, I mean, we got to consider you had Mikey Wilbon.
I was going to say, you had actual ESPN people.
Northwestern guy.
Desmond Howard.
Howard, Big Ten, Michigan guy. So you had some old school Big Ten folks in the national media who were going after Nebraska.
Pat Forty, Missouri grad.
Part of that also, too, may have been, dare I say, political and
absolutely, 100%.
in notion.
But remember, the main criticism against Nebraska at that moment was even less about politics and more about you're Nebraska, shut up. Remember that? Like that was the angle almost that some of those people.
But I think, but that goes back again to the
struggles on the field.
To the struggles on the field, and the fact that there's this dumb sports logic that says, well, if you don't win enough games, your opinion on anything doesn't matter.
Well, hell,
which had nothing to do with whether or not the team should play through a pandemic.
You and I have degrees from Nebraska, but it's not like we're affiliated with the university. We'll have opinions, and outsiders are like, "Hey, shut up! Your team sucks." Like, what do I have to do with Nebraska being bad on the field? So you're 100% spot on in that regard.
So that's interesting. I mean, it's just I don't see it quite as universal as you do, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Joe is right. Maybe Josh knows everything. Here's Drew, who's about to say that Josh knows nothing, or at least Joe knows nothing.
Drew, is this true?
Oh, no, it's Hayton already. So Josh, probably around the Mendoza line. So, he gets about 200, he's hitting about 200.
Hey, I'll take
it. But that previous, Josh is right more than he's wrong. We know that. But that previous caller, I mean, he could not have been more clueless if he had tried. But, I just diagnosed it while he was talking. He's got Frost derangement syndrome.
Uh-oh!
I think he said Nebraska had sucked the last 22 years. It's like, oh, wait, between 2006 and 2012, Nebraska won their division like 4 times, besides winning 9 games up until, 2016, basically. So that's fine to complain about the last few years, but just when you get it so wrong, I mean, it was Callahan, who cares? And then, Pelini won the division 3 times. I think some of that's people forget how difficult it is to win a division. But I'm not saying they're, the greatest program ever, but let's not go to the suck word for 22 years. And also, Frost is completely right. I mean, there's still like 5 or 6 programs. We love to see Texas, USC, Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, Nebraska lose. I mean, that hasn't changed. I've lived all over the country. That's not going to change because everybody, when they were growing up or fans, no national championship. So everyone likes other people falling if they've been successful. So, I know it's going to make some people cry, but yes, Nebraska is still relevant because we know everyone hates us. That's fine. In 20 years, if we don't, then we got a problem. But the last thing on my little rant is, that guy needs help. And I know people don't want to hear this, but when you single out Frost with everything he's done as a coordinator, check out Oregon's record the 2 years after he left. So obviously he knew what he was doing. Central Florida. I mean, I'm not saying it's still a big deal to go undefeated in FBS. So to act like Frost is some just idiot, and here Mr. Guy doesn't even calling on the, to a call-in show, dribbling ketchup all over himself, talking about 22 years. So yeah, this is my first call in a year or so, but I just had to vent at him. But it was not about Josh. So
all right,
not about Josh. He's solid. All right,
I'll take it. Solid. The positive boys. No, look, I honestly, I think Drew hits on something, and we've tried to say this at times too.
What, the Frost derangement syndrome?
Definitely not that. And please, for the love of God, don't allow this to become a thing.
We're gonna make it a thing.
No, we're not. But
yeah, Frost derangement syndrome isn't real.
They're 15-29. Them sucking for 2 decades. That's true. They've been a lesser version of Nebraska football for 2 decades, but they've actually sucked for 5 years.
Yeah.
Now 5 decades. 5 years is truly the
4 out of 5 years, they went 9-4.
No, I'm talking about the last 5 years.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I'm talking about the last
6.
5 years.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
One out of the last 6
God,
years.
it is 5 years now.
John, 5 years.
Records.
5
God
years.
Dang.
Yeah, they're what? So 15-29 with
Yeah,
Frost.
you're right.
They're 4-8.
I'm
So that
sorry.
means
I don't know
they
why
are-
I question Josh anymore. He's right
I'm
all
God.
the time.
They're 19-37 in the last 5 years.
Yeah, you're right.
Yuck. Before that, they didn't suck. They were just a lesser version of Nebraska football.
Yeah,
from
they were
what we
just
had-
they were okay.
Yeah, exactly. They were okay.
They were okay.
Yeah.
Make Nebraska okay again.
Mm-hmm. Adam, put me in the camp of Frost is an idiot. All right, there you go.
Frost derangement syndrome.
No, John. No.
Yeah,
No.
Frost derangement syndrome. Is that what that was?
Yeah, that's what he called it. He said
He called it Frost derangement syndrome.
Yes.
And Josh doesn't want Frost derangement syndrome to be a thing.
No. Yeah, and as now Nick says it over and over.
I'm just repeating Frost derangement syndrome.
Stop
to
it,
make
Nick.
sure I'm getting it
Stop
right.
it.
Well,
We're way past time.
I
We gotta go to break.
want to
way
react
past
to
time.
actual Scott Frost.
Okay, let's do it.
On Frosty Highlights coming up. We may have to rename Frosty Highlights
to Frost Derangement Highlights?
Frost Derangement Syndrome.
Oh, I'm glad you're
Highlights?
on board now, Josh.
I don't like this.
1620 the zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Kugler Vision, the only place in our area to specialize in all 7 FDA-approved vision correction procedures. Find out which of those 7 you qualify for by visiting their website today, KuglerVision.com.
Well, Nebraska, we knew it would happen. The political establishment and their dark money are flooding the airwaves with negative ads filled with lies. Their target, conservative Charles W. Herbster. They attacked President Trump. Now they're lying about Charles W. Herbster. Fact, Charles Herbster will cut taxes for all Nebraskans. His pledge, property taxes must be cut and no new taxes on gas, medicine, or groceries. Fact, Charles Herbster has paid all his taxes and fees, every single penny. Fact, Charles is the only conservative candidate with the courage to finally fix our broken tax system once and for all. The political establishment and dark money special interests, they won't tell you the truth. Charles W. Herbster is the only conservative who will cut taxes and fix our broken system. Paid for by Herbster for Nebraska.
From sports medicine to spine, bone, and joint problems, Nebraska Medicine is your home for the region's most comprehensive orthopedic care. Our specialists have the unmatched expertise to diagnose and treat common and complex problems, with surgery being a last resort. With multiple locations, our leading care is miles ahead, yet close to home. For orthopedic advances, this is where you begin. Visit nebraskamed.com/ortho.
Home is with you wherever that may be.
Dan Thompson of Thompson & Thompson, third generation roofing, siding, gutters, and more, where they're celebrating 25 years of business.
Thank you, Omaha, and all the communities around for putting your trust in us for 25 years. Integrity is what our customers like about us, and they know they can trust us to protect their home and make it look great. Call Thompson & Thompson third generation today and become one of the thousands of customers who are glad they did. Or click thompsonthird.com.
At Capal Mexican Cuisine, they're celebrating Cinco de Mayo all weekend long. Come to Capal Mexican Cuisine on Thursday, May 5th with live mariachi music. On Friday the 6th, a DJ plays on the patio. The rest of the weekend, there are new specials on cocktails and tequila. Then wrap up the celebration with a brunch on Sunday. Capal Mexican Cuisine, 129th and Maple, and at CapalLNK.com. That's CapalLNK.com. Capal Mexican Cuisine, traditional Mexican food with a modern touch.
Spring is in the air, but are you ready for summer? Team up with Genesis Health Clubs today and you'll be ready. We're inviting you to be your absolute best this summer. No compromises, no regrets, just you, full of the sort of confidence only fitness can bring. This is your summer to feel great, look great, and have more energy. Start your membership at Genesis Health Clubs and save $25 per month every single month. $25 per month every single month. Hurry, just 4 days left. This summer is for you. Get yourself mentally and physically ready for vacations, pool parties, and barbecues in just a few short months. But you don't have to wait. You can start to feel better and have more energy today while you work towards your fitness goals. You are worth it. Join Genesis Health Clubs today and save $25 per month every single month. Hurry, just 4 days left. Join Genesis Health Clubs today and save $25 per month every single month. Summer is coming, and this is going to be your best summer ever. But hurry, this offer ends soon. Go to GenesisHealthClubs.com or stop by the club today. Hurry, just 4 days left.
Mike Capel here, serial entrepreneur with words from another happy payroll customer.
What you have done for me to make my life so much easier is you take that fear away from me that I'm doing something wrong with the payroll. Thank you so much for your software. I don't know what I would have done without it.
Visit us at patriotsoftware.com. Use promo code RADIO and get 2 months of payroll free. That's patriotsoftware.com.
With patriotsoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Email Sharp and Benning on Equitable Bank inbox with your love, your hate, whatever your hot takes are. We're here for you. The Zone inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
There are places in the world that aren't made out of stone, that there's something inside that they can't get to, that they can't touch. It's yours.
And look at that sideline. Look at that sideline go wild.
What are you talking about? Hope.
It is history. 13-0. And bring that trophy back to Lincoln.
Let me tell you something, my friend. Hope is a dangerous thing.
My hope is always to keep dreams alive. And, I think that hope energizes, and doubt destroys.
Hope can drive a man insane. It's got no use on the inside. You better get used to that idea.
9:24 left in this season, thank God. Back with more football next. This is Big Red Football.
That part gets me every time.
Well, I think we're
Every
all pretty
time.
much tired of the season by that point.
Yeah.
That was the Rutgers game.
Oh, that was the Rutgers game.
Yeah, it was
okay.
the end of the COVID season.
I didn't know if that was last year, like during the Iowa game.
Yeah, it was.
That Rutgers.
great.
Oh, bad times.
Yeah, it was bad.
2020. Remember 2020?
I do.
Yeah, indeed.
So Scott Frost was on the radio last night on Husker Sports Nightly.
Awesome.
And did an hour with folks. And touched on a lot of different topics. And I grouped these sound bites together. I'm not sure how much we won't get to all of them here in this segment, but I did want to touch on a couple of things. And obviously the biggest concern right now in the present is defensive line and the fact that Nebraska lost Casey Rogers and they're in the portal. Now, Frost didn't have any specifics about people they're going after in the portal. We all know who those folks are.
Who?
But obviously he can't go into that. But he was asked about the defensive line and the shape of the program or the shape of the position group in general.
We like what we have. The new way of college football is going to be, doing your best to recruit for positions, expecting attrition and expecting to lose some kids, and then trying to go out and fill the gaps you have. I think that's just going to be the way it is. It's no secret our numbers are way down on the D-line. Really like what we have in the development of some of the young guys and return of a couple veterans, but that's probably an area that we'll be looking for a little bit of help. And if we find it, great. If we don't, we like what we have, and something we'll have to address now and in the future.
And of course, they've already been looking into that spot with the the potential Texas Tech transfer.
Obviously, Mathis.
And speaking of Mathis, he did mention the outside linebackers, defensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
And the question was actually asked about Blaze Gunnerson and Jamari Butler, who have been working as backups at that position. And it went into more of an overview of outside linebacker / defensive end. And the numbers kind of shy on that front, too.
Caleb and Garrett are pretty entrenched at those spots right now. That's another spot where we had a bunch of guys at that position. We're down to 4 scholarship guys on the edge of our defensive line. A couple other guys that could play there, but we're really down to 4. We usually carry 7. So we're light on numbers. But Blaze and Jamari both have a really bright future here. We saw the talent in them, both of them, when we recruited them. Blaze had some injuries, and Jamari's taken a little bit to get where he is, but they were both really productive in the spring, and they're going to be contributors and future starters here, and we're excited about both of them.
Obviously the roster will still change in the in 4 months. By the way, from tomorrow, 4 months from tomorrow is the opener. But in the next 4 months, the roster is going to change a little bit, and they'll add more players. But I don't know, man, if I can remember a season that we've talked about where going in depth and I guess players remaining healthy is going to be on the forefront of so many conversations. Like, so often it's like an obvious thing. If you have a really good starting quarterback, for example, that player can't get hurt because
Right.
the depth behind him might not be good enough, and you can't reach your goals. This, though, it seems to be a little bit different, specifically on that side of the ball, where if the depth doesn't hold up, the group is just too thin automatically, and it presents a whole host of problems given the division and the league that they play in.
It was interesting, though, to hear him say, we normally carry 7, and they only have 4.
Yeah.
So they're running on almost half strength right now. Now, if you get an O'Shawn Mathis, I mean, that's pretty manageable to have 5 going into the season. and at least three guys who would have a lot of playing experience. Tanner, and Mathis and Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
So to have those three to be able to rotate would be nice. And then if Gunnarsson and Butler are coming along, as they say, you can manage that.
Yeah, sure.
You can manage.
It'll be interesting. I mentioned this yesterday in the interview with Sipple, but I talked to two different people yesterday who are pretty plugged in to the ABM stuff. And on one hand, there was some confidence in the ability to land Mathis. And then the other person I talked to, like, no confidence, none at all. And so, of course, the answer is going to be somewhere in the middle. But it was just fascinating to talk to somebody that was a lot of optimism and then a lot of pessimism, kind of back to back.
Well, on that subject, NIL did come up.
We're just seeing the tip of the iceberg right now. And every time you hear a news story or what a kid's getting or what's happening out there, it seems to get more and more extreme. And it's going to change college football as we used to know it. And I don't think anybody's sure where the ball is going to stop rolling. But it's going to be a tumultuous few years here until something happens to try to get a handle on all these changes.
Yeah, I'll say it, and I've said it a lot lately. When history is in the rear view, it's easy to do kind of hindsight's 2020 and to have your opinions and really not having to think about being on the ground in that exact moment and just what it would be like. Well, we are living in the midst of a radical change in college sports right now. And so, of course, that's going to bring about a lot of opinions. And we just don't know the end game of all of this.
No.
And so, eventually there will be an end game. And eventually I do think things are going to settle down a little bit. And at the very least, it's going to normalize, because that's what happens with anything that's new eventually is not new anymore. It just takes a while for that to happen. And we're still, once again, we are not even a year into this. We're not even 10 months into this situation that we find ourselves living in. So it's a different world of college sports.
I wanted to get to this cut before we get to Michael Bruntz, who's joining us next from Husker 24/7. To me, this was probably the most interesting thing that Frost had to say yesterday, in my opinion. And it's about that C word, culture, and how it builds position by position.
One of the things we've been talking about lately is making sure the leadership we do have breaks down the barriers between position groups. You can have a great culture in one room, but if that culture doesn't spread to other rooms, it's limited. So if the offensive line culture is getting better and getting there, great. They need to demand that same standard from the tight ends and the receivers and the running backs and everybody else on the offense. And we still need to see that happen a little bit. We need guys to be more vocal, a little more dominant, and we got the right guys to do it. So got to step out of their shell a little bit. Football's a hard game, and a lot of times you get caught up worrying about your job and your assignment and what you have to do. The great ones do all that and then bring people around them to a new level too.
We always think of culture being a team whole thing.
We do.
But when you've got 100 and, you factor in coaches and support staff, basically 200 people.
I was going to say, yeah, well over
you have an
150.
army, a small army of 200 people. Building that from top to bottom is a challenge. And then, because of the nature of football, we always talk about the running back room, the wide receiver room, the tight end room, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That through that answer, it almost seems to imply we've had it in spots.
Yep.
We haven't had it everywhere.
Yep.
And when it's not everywhere, that, call it disease, can spread, where, a negative tight end room, for example. I'm just mentioning positions. I'm not casting aspersions on Nebraska's tight end room. But if the tight end room is not together, or the offensive line, especially the bigger position groups like offensive line, like wide receiver, which has a big numbers. If they're not in sync and that kind of spreads to other rooms, that's why you can have big culture issues. And yet we when we talk about culture, we always talk about it as a team, as an entire collective.
Yep.
And I almost wonder if in some of the changes that they made with because he's talking about players, right? He's talking about making sure that the players are looking out for each other, and then it's crossing from position group to position group. But I also wonder how much of that is being put on the coaches in those rooms, the assistant coaches. And Nebraska changed out a lot of guys last year.
They certainly did. And, I think back to conversations we had last year and the year before. Like, it seemed like the culture on the defensive side of the ball was strong. Very good culture, especially in the defensive back room. Offensively, I don't think that we've been able to say that, especially with the offensive line. I think that was something interesting from him, and I think that you hit on some really important points here. A couple tweets real fast, 4 bunts.
Yeah.
We were talking about the Frost derangement syndrome thing. Todd mentions that syndrome could so easily go in 2 vastly different directions. And along those lines, Jed says Frost derangement syndrome works for people who think Frost is a good coach with a career under 500 record while also having an undefeated season. Yeah, I guess I was looking at it from one perspective, but you could definitely apply it to maybe the other side of the fan base.
I think Josh has given birth to a new.
I did not. No. That was Drew. That was caller Drew.
It's a cool phrase, Josh.
No, it is not.
How'd you come up
Apparently,
with that?
by the way, Patrick, he tweeted. He says it's already a thing. So I guess I haven't been in the.
Where's it been a thing?
Probably on message boards. I don't know.
Those things still exist.
They do. People like talking about Husker football.
Huh?
They do indeed.
Who knew? Well, we'll find out. Michael Bruntz, does he know about a message board?
He might. He also talks Husker football sometimes.
Oh, well, he does, and he's going to talk about it next year on 1620 The Zone.
Hey, everyone. Josh Peterson here for my friends at Kugler Vision. Scoffraw, he mentioned last night that he had to have the glasses on, I think because he forgot to put in one of the contacts earlier in the day. And to Scott Frost, I say this. You should give my friends at Kugler Vision a call today at 402-558-2211, because then if you are doing an interview with the network that covers your program, don't have to wear the glasses. You don't have to wear them at all anymore, no matter what you're doing, whether it is game day, whether it is practice day, or whether it's just an off-season day in general. He loves going to the golf course. I love going to the golf course. You want to be able to see that golf ball. It's flying in the air. Of course, for me, 300 yards, middle of the fairway, down there on 12 or whatever it is. Give him a call at 402-558-2211. Schedule a consultation today. Find out about their 7 FDA-approved vision correction procedures. Perhaps in the past you were told, hey, Nick Grimm, you don't qualify for LASIK. Give them a call because they probably have a treatment that can help you out. 402-558-2211 or at their website, kuglervision.com.
Zone, taste of our takes. Sharp and Benning in the morning.
I wonder what you say. Here is Tim. You know those meat thermometers where the prong, you just pull the prong out?
Do not go stick that in the soil. If you need a soil thermometer, I will grab you one.
Jeez, man.
You can use it. This is insane. This is the best phone call I've ever had. I am $180 an hour for a consulting fee. You go ahead and write me a check anytime.
For more, tune in every day to 1620 AM or go to 1620thezone.com. Your Omaha area forecast from Canoyer Garden Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Sunny, breezy, and pleasant into this evening with the temperatures in the upper 60s. We'll be mostly clear tonight, drop back in the lower 50s for low. Still warm on Wednesday and breezy with highs in the mid and upper 70s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV Newswatch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
You know those buddies who magically become medical professionals when you're not at the top of your game? The ones who say, come on, muscle through it, but then also say, hey, you should probably see my specialist. Or surgery or pain meds. It's almost always false, false, and false. Athletico's physical therapists, the same therapists who work with professional athletes, can tackle those little aches and pains from the start, before they become big ones. So next time, don't believe everything you hear. Instead, start with Athletico. Schedule your free assessment at athletico.com.
At Dingman's, our first priority is protecting your safety. We are here to be your personal advocate to ensure you receive safe, proper repairs by the highest skilled technicians in the industry. Vehicle technology is changing faster than ever. Performing manufacturer repair procedures is just one way we ensure your vehicle will be returned to you as safe as it was when you bought it. Visit our website at dingmans.com or stop in to experience the Dingman difference for yourself. At Dingman's, we would rather be the best than apologize for anything less.
Pandemic-impacted homeowners may be at risk of losing their homes, which is why the state of Nebraska is providing relief through the Homeowner Assistance Fund. Qualified homeowners can receive up to $30,000 in assistance for past due mortgage payments, past due real estate taxes, HOA dues, and homeowners or flood insurance. Funds will be distributed until they run out, and they do not need to be paid back. View qualifications and apply today at NebraskaHAF.com. That's NebraskaHAF.com.
Hello, everyone. This is your favorite president, I hope, Donald J. Trump. I want you to be at our great rally this Friday. I'll be joined by some tremendous American patriots who are running for office and who will win with your support. See you on Friday.
Join President Donald J. Trump at his rally on Friday, April 29th at the I-80 Speedway in Greenwood, Nebraska at 8 p.m. Get your free tickets online at DonaldJTrump.com.
Paid for by Save America, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. DonaldJTrump.com.
Well, Nebraska, we knew it would happen. The political establishment and their dark money are flooding the airwaves with negative ads filled with lies. Their target, conservative Charles W. Herbster. They attacked President Trump. Now they're lying about Charles W. Herbster. Fact, Charles Herbster will cut taxes for all Nebraskans. His pledge, property taxes must be cut and no new taxes on gas, medicine, or groceries. Fact, Charles Herbster has paid all his taxes and fees, every single penny. Fact, Charles is the only conservative candidate with the courage to finally fix our broken tax system once and for all. The political establishment and dark money special interests, they won't tell you the truth. Charles W. Herbster is the only conservative who will cut taxes and fix our broken system. Paid for by Herbster for Nebraska.
Hey guys, spring is here and the honeydew list has begun. If you're getting ready to clean up your yard, Lanahaw is your one stop for all landscape needs. Buy your mulch at Lanahaw Nurseries. Best quality at the best price. Convenient delivery or pickup. Lanahaw Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
How many oysters can you down? 12, 24, 36? Test your limit at Shucks Fish House on Wednesday and Thursday, April 27th and 28th during Oyster Fest, where you can get 36 oysters for only $18. Bring a friend and your appetite. Find out more at shucksfishhouse.com.
This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson.
Soften those bad boys up.
The 1620, The Zone.
Here's a story of a man named Bruncy who covers Husker sports, boys and girls, like football and basketball, even weightlifting, like front squats and curls. Then one day, good old Bruncy called a talk show, and acting on what they thought was a hunch, John and Josh wanted to start a family. And now we get to talk to Michael Bruntz. It's Michael Bruntz. Michael Bruntz. Now we get to talk to Michael Bruntz.
Of Husker 24/7 Sports, Husker247.com. Good afternoon, Michael.
Hello.
Could you just list off 5 different Oakland athletics for Josh? Because he was challenged earlier today by Mike Farron to know
Barry Zito.
5. No, he doesn't play for them.
Was there a guy named Munson? Hanson?
Thurman Munson?
No, who am I thinking?
He played for the Yankees.
Who were the 3 pitchers in the early 2000s? They had Zito. They had
Hudson.
That was close. That was close. And then who was the 3rd one?
Frost derangement syndrome.
It was Zito, Hudson, and Mulder.
Oh, yes. Those were great teams. Great. Yeah. Okay. Can you name 5 current players?
Current players?
Yeah.
Yeah. Stephen Piscotty.
Nice.
Frankie Montas, who's like a little Bartolo Colon.
Oh, I like that guy already.
Let's see. They've got an Austin Allen.
Whoa.
Let's see.
Do they have a Scott Frost?
They don't. That they may. I mean, he might be pitching by the end of the year. I don't know. Ramon Laureano is currently suspended.
Steroids?
With the juice. Kristen Pache.
I think that's 5. I think you're good.
There's a Grimm in there, isn't there?
You have a Grimm?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Nick got very excited about that last week, that there was a Grimm.
It's cool seeing my last name. It's not a very common last name.
The whole franchise was very grim, I have to
Though, aren't they in
Got 'em.
first? Isn't this what
They're not in first, but they're above 500.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
they're competing.
Nice. There you go. That's all you can ask for.
There was I saw this. I don't remember where I saw this. Someone wrote it.
The internet.
It was on the internet.
Awesome.
But I don't remember who wrote it. But it was an interesting theory because we are coming up on the May 1st deadline.
Yes.
For folks to enter the portal
Sunday.
And the idea was, would it make more sense to hold your spring game as close to May 1st or heck, even after May 1st?
Uh-huh.
Because then perhaps the likelihood of a surprise departure right after spring football might not occur. Do you think there might be some merit to that? And do you suppose if this May 1st date continues to stand that we might see a few teams finagle their spring dates a little later?
Maybe. I mean, to me, that the I guess the flip side of that is maybe it also forces more rash decisions. I mean, a guy kind of under the gun, kind of going both ways and has to decide quicker. I don't know if that's a good thing. I mean, it maybe leads to a little less time to basically re-recruit your guys, but I don't know. It's that's something that I'm sure teams are going to have to figure out what works for them. I mean, maybe giving guys a little bit more time to stew, a little bit more kind of rumors about what positions your current team is pursuing to potentially add help, giving you some second thoughts. I don't know. I kind of wonder if teams are going to have to really balance that now with before it was you wanted to get out and you wanted to be able to really hit the ground during the spring evaluation period. I mean, maybe that's a consideration. I mean, you could also probably make an argument that, if you have a culture that, is relatively healthy and have a good idea of what, is on your roster and your guys in your various position rooms, that maybe there shouldn't be those kinds of surprises. I mean, they'll happen, but, I don't know. I mean, the thing I constantly hear from coaches is the thing that they're having to learn in all this is you're having to constantly re-recruit your own guys. And, I think that recruitment probably happens whether it's, during a spring practice or maybe not.
And Bruns, along those lines, because I've heard that same refrain, especially, the last week with Rodgers and what you said before that about culture. Like, are we maybe not making enough with this move? And I guess if there are going to be other surprises this week that follow about just like the win-loss record, where if you're a college kid, and especially for Rodgers, he's been here 4 years, like maybe it just makes sense to want to go somewhere where you could win a few more games and thus have a little bit more fun. Like I know we wanted to make all these grand statements last week. And when somebody said that to me the first time, like, hey, maybe he's just frustrated because they stink. It's like, oh, that does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably a factor. I mean, and especially for a guy like him that had the injuries that he's had and kind of fought through what he has, I mean, maybe you want to, get a little bit more payoff in terms of, wins and bowl trips and things like that for what you go through. I mean, that's a factor. I mean, I think probably for him too. I mean, when you've, been someplace for 4 years, you've graduated, you kind of have that natural, I guess, reset of your, whatever academic degree you're pursuing. I mean, it kind of makes sense to maybe think like, okay, am I going to do this for another 2 years here? Or do you want to maybe just have a change of scenery? I think that was, a lot of the case with him specifically. I don't think it was necessarily the big referendum on the program that maybe what, it appeared to be. So, yeah, I mean, there's other factors besides just playing time. And, I do wonder too, if, when you start hearing, what the numbers are out there around guys that are being pursued by programs. I mean, and you're looking at your own situation, you think, okay, could I do more somewhere else? I mean, and just explore that possibility. I think there's infinite reasons for guys to leave the program. And I mean, I do think just wanting to go somewhere and, maybe win and have a different feeling around the program could be one of them. I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility, I don't think.
Michael, we were just talking, we played a couple of clips from Scott Frost's radio appearance last night. And one of the things he had mentioned was culture from room to room, position group to position group, and, other position groups keeping each other accountable. And so often when we talk about culture, we just talk about it as a team-wide thing, but not something, that is position group by position group. Now, when he was talking about, I believe he was more referring to the players holding other players accountable. But do you suppose that there may have been a few issues with the assistant coaches who lead those individual rooms, and that may be part of the reason why some of them are gone?
Well, I mean, I think that there's always going to be coaches that connect better with guys than others. I think that's just that's not a college football thing. That's a management thing. It's how do you just connect with other people? And I think that it is important. I think to look at. I think when you start having the culture discussion, and I guess it's that time of year to have it, but you do kind of have to look room to room. I mean, where are a lot of guys leaving from? I think some coaches demand things differently than what maybe other coaches do. I mean, I think the wide receiver room right now is a pretty good example. I think Mickey Joseph connects with guys a little bit more easily than maybe Nebraska's past two wide receiver coaches. I don't think that's a huge stretch to say that. I think the way that maybe what's demanded or how much patience you have with guys, I mean that changes from coach to coach. And with the changeover that Nebraska's had in the last calendar year with 5 new assistant coaches, I mean they're having different conversations, they're hearing different voices that the players are. So I mean that is a big change too, in addition to everything schematically and just the new faces on the program in general.
Brunt's Husker baseball. They currently sit 5-7 in league play. They are currently in 8th place in the Big Ten. Of course, 8 Big Ten teams will make it to the Big Ten tournament here in Omaha at the end of next month. 4 conference series to go as the regular season comes to a close. What is a record that you think Nebraska needs to have in those 12 games to feel comfortable that they'll make it to the Big Ten tournament?
You'll have to remind me the 4 remaining series. You have Iowa at home.
Yep.
You got Minnesota
on the road and Illinois on the road.
And then Michigan State.
And then Michigan State. Well, I think you certainly got to win the Minnesota and Michigan State series. If not, sweep those.
Yeah, those two are the bottom teams in the league right now.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take care of business there. I mean, they're both at least the Minnesota series is on the road. So, that's, a concern there maybe, but I mean, you have to take care of business in those two. I think you got to get at least one from Iowa and Illinois. I mean, that's just kind of where they're at right now. I would need to look at the schedules of teams that are kind of around that number 8 spot too. I think it's Northwestern is kind of around there.
Yeah, Northwestern's at 6-6, Penn State 7-8, Nebraska 5-7, Purdue 4-6, Indiana 4-8.
Yeah, I think you probably got to win both of the series against the bottom feeders and at least one in the other one. So it's going to be tough. I mean that's just kind of the what happens when you get swept in these series like they were against Rutgers and that. Again, I feel like we kind of had this conversation a couple weeks ago where you end the weekend on a pretty good feeling. You get the offense clicking a little bit on Sunday. You come home with some midweek games and a big, conference series kind of looming at the end of that. And, this is the time that you have to be able to piece a few of those wins together and get a little momentum going. They haven't been able to do that at all this season. So, the at-bats need to be better at the plate and, hope you can get some good pitching on the weekend. But I think they pitched well enough to be competitive and certainly make the Big Ten tournament. It's just, going to come down to can you get enough done at the plate to back those pitchers up.
What are we going to see more of a regular weekend rotation? I know things got a little sideways last week because, of travel and the North Dakota series, but do you think the pitching rotation this weekend will be set normally or as close to normal as possible?
I've kind of given up trying to predict what order those guys are going to be in, but I mean, you kind of know the group that it's going to be. I mean, Cody Frank is throwing really well right now, even, coming off of his little hiccup with his arm. I think Emmett Olson has put himself in a spot to at least get you, through the batting order a couple times, which has been a struggle at times on the weekend. And, they've got to get kind of Shea Shannon dialed back in. I think it's just going to be a mix of those three. I could see maybe Frank on Friday night to maybe get Nebraska off to a good start on the weekend. But, that's kind of the group. I don't know that Dawson McCarville is going to be a factor in the weekend going forward. It kind of feels like he's in that midweek role, maybe long relief, depending on when he pitches and how much.
Well, Iowa this weekend, but it's going to be a busy week because you've got midweek games tonight and tomorrow. Kansas State tonight and Omaha tomorrow. All 5 games are at Haymarket Park. So busy week to try to get some momentum started, because I think right now, if Nebraska can finish around 500, they'll be okay.
Yeah,
but that's the key.
Yeah, I think that's a good number, I think, to shoot for. It's an interesting week because you've got that Omaha game on Wednesday, and as you remember, there was kind of that exchange
little
of
kerfuffle
ideas from plate after the walk-off in Omaha. So I'm sure Nebraska hasn't forgotten that going into Wednesday's game.
Michael Bruns, Husker 24/7. Brunsy, thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Don't forget,
Bye,
the
Bruns.
Zone is giving you a chance to win the ultimate Storm Chaser fan experience. 4 tickets for any game, Storm Chaser merch packs, bobblehead, stadium tour, conducted by Marty Cordero.
First pitch.
Your president.
And still your president, by the
And
way.
yes, first pitch.
Wow, what a prize package.
Yes. Go to 1620thezone.com right now and get registered. Speaking of baseball, Mike Farron in about 10 minutes here on 1620 The Zone.
Win $5,000 to give your garage a spring makeover, or a $2,500 gift card from Langfeld Overhead Doors. It's the 5K Garage Makeover. Get all the details and enter to win at 1620thezone.com. From Langfeld Overhead Doors and 1620 The Zone.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Jake and Christine knew they needed help renovating their dream home. As a Pella advisor, I make sure every step of getting new windows and doors is smooth, including setting you up with our Pella Care Guarantee. It covers everything from product to installation, with some of the strongest warranties in the industry.
For 0% APR or $500 off your project, go to PellaOmaha.com/radio. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details. Offer ends April 30th.
Spring is in the air, but are you ready for summer? Team up with Genesis Health Clubs today and you'll be ready. We're inviting you to be your absolute best this summer. No compromises, no regrets, just you, full of the sort of confidence only fitness can bring. This is your summer to feel great, look great, and have more energy. Start your membership at Genesis Health Clubs and save $25 per month every single month. $25 per month every single month. Hurry, just 4 days left. This summer is for you. Get yourself mentally and physically ready for vacations, pool parties, and barbecues in just a few short months. But you don't have to wait. You can start to feel better and have more energy today while you work towards your fitness goals. You are worth it. Join Genesis Health Clubs today and save $25 per month every single month. Hurry, just 4 days left. Join Genesis Health Clubs today and save $25 per month every single month. Summer is coming, and this is going to be your best summer ever. But hurry, this offer ends soon. Go to GenesisHealthClubs.com or stop by the club today. Hurry, just 4 days left.
Hide slides, hide slides. Come on down for a bite at Hide Slides. Hide Slides. Come on down for a bite at Hide Slides. Hide Slides Burgers and Fries, located at 3505 South 42nd Street. It's right inside the Grover Inn. There ain't no sign, but come on in.
The zoo is a great place to visit, but did you know it's also a great place to work?
Omaha's Henry Dorley Zoo and Aquarium is currently hiring for a variety of positions, and we think you'll love trying something new. You can spend the day meeting guests, talking to families, and having full access to walk and explore Omaha's Henry Dorley Zoo and Aquarium. To learn more or apply, visit omahazoo.com/workhere.
Got chronic joint pain? Not having success with steroids, but trying to avoid surgery? Well, thankfully, there's a better way, and it's now available here from the medical professionals at QC Kinetics. Hey, it's Damon Benning here. I'm talking about new therapies, advanced all-natural regenerative treatments that not only just give you relief, but also can restore and repair damaged tissue for long-lasting relief. If you got joint pain due to arthritis, knee pain, hip pain, or shoulder pain, don't just think the old ways of dealing with pain are the only ways. Call now for free consultation. QC Kinetics, 402-205-4960. These remarkable new treatments increase mobility, decrease pain, and help restore tissue. Call now and learn more about these restorative, regenerative, and revolutionary alternatives. Don't wait. Call today. QC Kinetics, 402-205-4960. That's 402-205-4960.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
Got an email, John.
That would be the Equitable Bank inbox, my friends.
We were talking about roster numbers, how
Yeah.
they have to get the numbers down to 85 still. But we were also playing some of the Scott Frost audio about the lack of depth at a couple positions in particular right now, the defensive line and the linebackers, really the front seven of the defense. Eric emails in, says, I have not looked closely at the distribution. Where are all the roster numbers? We are only a couple of way from the 85 roster, yet we are so short on depth at multiple positions. Where is all the depth? Is the roster mismanagement that bad? And I read that because I find it a genuinely interesting question.
It is an interesting question because right now,
they're still
as
over.
of today, they're over. They're at 88 scholarships, according. This is the World Herald's scholarship distribution chart. Here's where your scholarships are distributed. You got 5 QBs, 7 running backs, 13 wide receivers.
Wow.
I think that's one area where you could cut a little fat.
Mm-hmm.
6 tight ends, 14 offensive. Think about it. You have 14 offensive line, 13 receivers. You play 5 offensive linemen.
You very rarely play 5 receivers.
Correct. 9 defensive line or listed as defensive
And real
line.
quick, it's a good way to look at this too, moving forward the rest of this conversation. So you play 1 quarterback, they have 5. You play usually 1 running back, they have, what was it, 7? You play, and that's counting fullbacks. Though they don't have
fullbacks anymore.
You play 3 receivers, I would say most
Generally
of the time,
3 receivers.
3 or 4, and they had, what was the number for that? 13?
13.
You play 1 or 2 tight ends. And
6.
They have 6. You play 5 offensive linemen. They have
14.
Okay. Defensive line, you play 4.
9.
Okay.
Now, see, this is where it gets interesting because really outside linebacker is your defensive ends, essentially, in this defense, or it can be. So you have 9 currently listed as defensive linemen.
Okay.
As scholarship. 10 outside linebackers.
Okay. 10 just outside linebackers, or that's linebackers?
That's what's listed as outside linebackers. They have 10 listed.
And then how many inside?
8.
Wow, so 18 linebackers. And you play 3 or 4. And they're thin.
Yeah. 10 cornerbacks. Now Frost might be quoting numbers. I mean, he might already know some of the players.
That's a good point.
Who are being cycled out.
That's a good point, and that will happen before Sunday if they want to play right away.
10 cornerbacks.
You play 2 to 4, depending on what packages you're in.
6 safeties.
Yeah, you play
and 2 scholarships for specialists.
Okay. Yeah,
so that's where the 88 are currently sitting.
No, that's why it's a good question though, because they're over and yet they're thin. It'd be one thing if they had 75 players on scholarship. Let's say that they were in trouble. 75 guys on scholarship, and then they're really thin. Okay, well that makes sense, but they're over and yet they're thin. Now, part of this too is there has been a few players leaving lately, so that's going to play a part. And then injuries, of course, you can't account for injuries. You don't just bake that into your roster management when you're recruiting guys. I mean,
correct.
We haven't played the audio. I don't know if you have the audio about Fedoni in particular, but still,
I don't. I mean,
he said he's nicked up, and so we still don't know exactly what's going on there. At least officially, I wouldn't expect
that
him
is
to
still one of the most curious things as why we're still handling. There's got to be another reason why that situation is being handled.
It's not as simple as Scott Frost doesn't like talking about injuries, because that is true. But when a player is out for an extended period of time, he'll say it.
He'll say it.
Yeah. Or if a player is going to be out for the season. For example, last year when Fedoni got hurt, I don't have the exact quote in front of me, but it's not, he was coy about it. He was like, yeah, he's going to miss a lot of time, and that was a very serious knee injury. What we're hearing about this, I mean, everyone's saying it without saying it, but what we're hearing is a very serious knee injury that happened to the same knee. And thus it's going to cost him a lot of time. And yet there hasn't been any sort of a timetable given at all on Fedoni. So yeah, I'm with you. I keep wondering, is there just something else that they are holding out hope for, or they just don't feel like announcing it?
I really don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know. Unless I'm sorry, in the absence of fact, we have to speculate.
Sure.
Is it career threatening?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. It's a good question. If it's the same knee, it's a serious injury to the same knee.
Right.
Man, that would suck.
And again, I don't have any more inside information than anybody else.
Yeah.
Coming up next, baseball time.
I got a baseball question for Mike.
Well, I would hope so. We're talking baseball
I got a
next.
few of them. Yeah.
We're talking baseball next. You're going to ask about the Oakland Athletics?
No. I'm going to start. See, he's trying to quiz me on all these baseball things. All right, Mike, name 5 Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, no one cares about the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Name 5 Chicago Bears.
No one cares about the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, imagine being a fan of the Chicago Bears. You'd have to be a real idiot.
1620 The Zone. It's the what? We're doing a hot mom's photo contest?
No.
Casey Mike.
Don't tag me in any of your tweets. I've already been tagged once.
Wow, talk about a humble brag.
No, this is not a humble brag.
This is Josh humble bragging.
If Severe
My mom's hot.
No, if Severe is listening right now, I'm going to block you,
this
Michael.
Sounds like a humble brag. Post a favorite
Why
picture
is this
of
a
your
humble
hot
brag?
mom. Or maybe it's somebody else's hot mom.
You can't win this, Josh.
Thank God I deleted my
For
Facebook.
a chance to win $1,000. Your winner will be drawn Thursday, May 5th. Post your picture and get all the details. Woo! 1620thezone.com. Hot mama.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone. 1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. Looks like a stall is causing delays on eastbound Northwest Radial at Hamilton Street. Also delays on northbound 144th between 370 and I-80. And then it looks like if you're west on Highway 370, you can see a little bit of a delay between the JFK and Golden Boulevard. I'm Mike Neville.
This time-saving traffic is brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery.
Someone just won a beautiful new blue truck playing Trucks and Bucks 2022. So there are only 5 trucks left. Better slide into Nebraska Lottery retailer, buy a ticket, and play today. Top prize odds, 1 in 336,000.
Email Sharpen Betting on the Equitable Bank inbox with whatever's on your mind. The Zone inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. You can get me at Gary at 1620thezone.com. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox.
Shop Lanahaw Nurseries for all your mulch needs. Best quality mulch at the best price. You'll notice our prices are lower than anybody else's. That's because you're buying your mulch straight from where it's made. Convenient delivery or pickup. Lanahaw Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
Don't miss this week's Zone Deal.
This week's half-off deal is to Cops Pizza. Get 2 $25 gift vouchers for just $25. Cops Pizza makes delicious pizza, fresh salads, and tasty charred wings with a variety of homemade sauces. For the menu, click copspizza.com. Visit them at 72nd and Jones or at the Shadow Lake Town Center.
Zone deals go fast. 9 a.m. Friday, 1620thezone.com.
Hey Tapper, join Josh and I this Friday at Warner Park before the Omaha Storm Chasers host the Toledo Mud Hens. The Chasers are back in action with an exciting team full of future Major League stars, so join the Connor Happer Show Friday at Warner Park on 1620 The Zone.
Spring is in the air, but are you ready for summer? Team up with Genesis Health Clubs today and you'll be ready. We're inviting you to be your absolute best this summer. No compromises, no regrets, just you, full of the sort of confidence only fitness can bring. This is your summer to feel great, look great, and have more energy. Start your membership with Genesis Health Clubs and save $25 per month every single month. $25 per month every single month. Hurry, just 4 days left. This summer is for you. Get yourself mentally and physically ready for vacations, pool parties, and barbecues in just a few short months. But you don't have to wait. You can start to feel better and have more energy today while you work towards your fitness goals. You are worth it. Join Genesis Health Clubs today and save $25 per month every single month. Hurry, just 4 days left. Join Genesis Health Clubs today and save $25 per month every single month. Summer is coming, and this is going to be your best summer ever. But hurry, this offer ends soon. Go to GenesisHealthClubs.com or stop by the club today. Hurry, just 4 days left.
Since this is a radio commercial, you can't see the people standing behind me. They're the Langfeld family. Everybody wave. Oh, sorry, you can't see them because radio. Anyway, the Langfelds are the family behind Langfeld Overhead Door, where they proudly install Midland garage doors to fit any space and style. And they don't take a backseat to anyone when it comes to their service. Because if something goes wrong, it's their name on the line. So they're going to make sure it goes right every single time. Langfeld Overhead Door, 402-234-2700.
At Athletico Physical Therapy, our favorite patients are the ones who just can't and won't wait because they don't have to. So get a little impatient and schedule your free assessment at athletico.com.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Chappell here, serial entrepreneur. While starting my first of 5 successful businesses, I foolishly did my own accounting. I stuck the more difficult tax forms in a drawer for later, which caused the tax man to cometh. That little mistake took an entire team of accountants weeks to prevent the tax man from clubbing me. Moral of this story? Use Patriot's accounting software because it's easy, and tell your accountant to use the same accounting software you use. Then, if the tax man cometh, you'll be the one holding the club. Go to PatriotSoftware.com. Use promo code RADIO and get 2 months of accounting software free. That's PatriotSoftware.com.
PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
Mike Farron, Sirius XM MLB Network Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, now singing the Mike Farron Open, it's Mike Stibbs.
Just make sure it sounds sexy, Stibbs.
Lord Almighty, how can you stand Arizona? Your fair skin must be burning down into your absent soul. Mike, 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 we can barely hear you. It sounds to me like you called us from inside a hole. But your phone calls lift me higher, like the ERA of Mark Pryor. Your hair looks like it's on fire. You're Mike Farron. You're just a hunk of burning love. You're just a hunk of burning.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Farron, live and in the flesh. How you doing, Mike?
Great. You?
You didn't have his mic turned up.
I didn't. How are you, Mike?
Hi, Mike.
I'm great. How are you? Can I say that the on the do you still call it Stibbs TV even though he's moved on?
1620 The Zone TV now.
So on Stibbs TV, the little frame that you have for Gary and Damon's show, Gary is in a very weird pose. Yeah, that one, right? Like Gary's kind of like leaning, but also folding his arms, and he looks really uncomfortable. I just want to make sure that he isn't having posture issues and may need back surgery.
I hope not.
Well, it's because they're still getting used to each other. I mean, they just got reunited.
Yeah.
And so
none of our pictures look good. All of the pictures that everyone.
That's why you work at radio, Josh.
Exactly. It's a great point. I hate when hey, it's time for picture day again. It's like we just did it a week ago. More pictures.
We did that a few years ago, and instead of having my partner Jim Duquette and I do it, we had our producers do it, and the photos turned out terrific. Like it was great. They did the whole back to back, like one smiling, one frowning, like standard stupid sports talk show photo. It's great.
I like
so much better.
Yeah, let's just have Nick do all of our photos moving forward. It's Unsportsmanlike Conduct with Josh and John, and it's just a picture of Nick.
I don't know if that's a good idea necessarily, but
why are you concerned that Nick might become like too popular with something like that, John? Is that what it is?
Sorry,
is that you don't want to share
Nick
the stage
becoming popular?
With our sports audience?
Not worried about that at all.
I'm the prettiest boy on this whole station.
Wow.
Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's a low bar to clear.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no kidding.
That is a low bar to clear.
I wouldn't go bragging about that.
I have been searching my internet all day long, anticipating some kind of fine or suspension for Dave Roberts, and I haven't seen anything yet. Obviously, he's going to be fined or suspended for abusing Walker Buehler and making him pitch an entire game. When is this coming down? I'm shocked that we haven't seen this yet.
I mean, when this aggression will not stand, man. Like you cannot allow pitchers to go that deep. No, that was great. I mean, finally we got a complete game, right? I think it's the latest point in the season that we've ever had the first complete game of the year. And listen, I think as much as it's easy to try and poke fun at the fact that teams are more bullpen reliant and that the complete game's gone the way of the dodo and blah 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 and all of that, like
RIP.
This year it shouldn't be a big surprise based on the way that spring training went. I mean, it was a shorter spring. So, in fact, the league and the Players Association agreed to rules today to keep a, expanded pitcher limit into the month of May. The rosters go back down to 26, and they were supposed to have 13 pitchers at that point. They can have 14 because they're trying to protect those guys. So, super efficient, 108 pitch shutout yesterday. I was there for the first 3 innings of it. Buehler looked great, and good on him. First complete game for him in his career.
I did want to ask a follow-up because I was reading Jason Stark. Jason's become my new. He and Passon are like neck and neck for my favorite.
Passon's my favorite because he's hysterical. He's a very funny person.
But Stark
Don't tell him that.
Yeah, Stark comes up with all these great
Give
numbers.
us his phone number so we can have him on the show. Never mind. Keep going. Sorry.
Jeez. Always asking stuff from.
I'd love for Jeff Passon to come on our show. How fun would that be?
Absolutely.
Him.
But
awesome. Thank you.
Compared to 2011, so we're going back 10 years. 3,000 more relief appearances.
Wow.
3,000 more relief appearances. This is comparing last year to 2011. And so far this year, now this was as of late last week, only 78 pitchers of all of last year started 25 games. So you had only 78 pitchers across the entire sport last year has started at least 25 games.
Right. And you know why that was?
Well, I mean, there's a variety of different reasons. You've got openers,
COVID.
No, let's go to this. I mean, come on, let's pull out Occam's razor here. We're going to cut to the quick on it.
Cut to the
quick. They played a 60-game season in 2020.
No, this is last year.
I know they played a 60-game years in 2020, which is why they were trying to protect the pitchers in 2021. Right. Which is why there were fewer guys that made longer starts because there was a ramp up, shut down, ramp up, short season. I mean, there were only a handful of guys that reached 200 innings. So the vast majority of, as much as there is a trend, I think it's very difficult to try and look at the numbers from last year in the first month and probably 2 months of this year with any predictive measure based on what happened. We're still recovering from 2020 and then the lockout, basically.
Right. But my point wasn't necessarily just to highlight the numbers, but it was that, baseball, and I know today the union did agree that the 14 pitcher limit on the roster, that's being extended.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So you can carry 14 pitchers through the end of May. And then after that, it's going to go down to 13. There's also a change to the number of options that you can use. So it's down to 5, I believe. Correct, Mike?
After the month of April this year, that goes into effect. But in future years, you'll only be able to option a player five times during the course of the season.
And part of this is to, try to keep, so many pitching changes from happening. But to me, the question isn't, will it work, but is it better for baseball if it does work? I mean, is this a problem for the sport that we're using a lot of relief pitchers, in your opinion?
Do I think it is, or do people who host talk shows who don't know anything about baseball, Josh, think that it is?
Wow, drive-by much?
I'm just looking at it from the sport as a whole. Do you think?
I don't think it's. I don't think it's nearly as big a deal as other people make it out to be. I mean, I think it's. Ben Clemens had a really good piece today on Fangraphs talking about the Rays Red Sox game from, what was it, Saturday. Rays had, they used a bullpen day, and they had a no-hitter through 9, and they ended up winning on a walk-off home run in 10 innings, 3-2. And as much as you can complain about no runs, like 3 hits total in the first 9 innings and 17 strikeouts and all of that, there were some pretty compelling power pitcher displays in that mix. There were some really good storylines, and watching, the Rays pitchers dominate the hitters, I think was pretty interesting. And then you get into extra innings where you have the Manfred man rule, which not everybody is a fan of. And it created some instant excitement with both the Red Sox offense and then the Rays comeback. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think the game is constantly evolving, right? I mean, there are more platforms to criticize the way the game has evolved than there were 30 years ago when guys stopped throwing 300 innings in a season. Like, who was the last 300 inning pitcher? I mean, that's the last one I remember off the top of my head was Mike Scott in 86, and it can't be that far after that we saw somebody do that. So
Maddox never did?
I don't think Maddox did 300. No. I'll try and figure it out here. But
I'll look it up.
Yeah, you look it up. So at any place, you do that, John. You do that.
Get on that. Get a 300 inning pitch. Let's
go. So like, I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with the way the game is played now. I mean, it's always going to evolve, and I think sometimes we worry too much about trying to make baseball look like it did when we fell in love with it when we were 12 years old, as opposed to appreciating the way that it changes over the time, or 8 years old, or however old we were when we fell in love with baseball. So I just think it's, I'm not nearly as concerned about the number of relievers, or, like how often did you really want to go to a game based on the starting pitching matchup? It wasn't like every 5 days. It was like once a month, maybe, right? And well, we still have that when, 5 days out that, let's say Walker Buehler is going to square off against, I don't know, Carlos Rodon, right? Like, that okay, well, that's appointment viewing, right? But it doesn't happen. It really hasn't happened historically all that often either, even with the way that starting pitching's value has changed.
By the way, Maddox's career high was 268.
Wow.
In his last season with his first go around with the Cubs.
So you said the 80s? That's the last time there's been a 300 inning pitcher?
That would be my guess, is it would be around 86. I'll try and pull it up here on Baseball Reference.
What's the most innings Cy Young ever threw in a season? Like a billion?
10 billion.
Yeah, jeez. Hey, Mike, this is kind of a follow-up, I guess, to the discussion we were having, but when Miguel Cabrera, when he was on his way towards 3K last week, John had a bunch of really good numbers on him in terms of where he ranks historically, and hey, he has 3,000 hits.
Those were Jason Stark numbers.
Oh,
to be
okay,
fair.
stolen from Jason. But he had those, and it just got me thinking. And look, you know how I feel about baseball, but is he going to end up being maybe one of the more understated great players, at least in this era, but maybe in the time that you've been watching the sport? Because the rarefied air that he is in, not only with the 3,000 hits, but the other stuff that he has done as well. It was just, there was one list. It was him and another guy, or maybe just him, that he was able to do?
Yeah, I think there's a list of 3 guys that have, what is it? He's going to get to the 600 double plateau here coming up in a little bit, but it'll be a 300 hitter, 3,000 hits, 500 home runs, 600 doubles. I think he'd be the only player in baseball history to do that.
Amazing.
I think to hit 300 with 3,000 hits and 500 home runs, it's like him, Willie Mays, and I want to say Henry Aaron. I could be wrong on Aaron. Yeah. So, I mean, but it's there. Yeah. I mean, I guess in the sense that he doesn't have the same, I don't know, I don't want to say legendary, but like this kind of immortal feel that some of these players from 60 years ago had. So I guess maybe from that standpoint, but I think from those of us who follow the game, I mean, he's going to go down as one of the best right-handed hitters in baseball history. I mean, he played in an era where he was a contemporary of Albert Pujols, who I think you can make the case is the greatest right-handed hitter, at least since Mays and Aaron, and Manny Ramirez, whose numbers are pretty similar to that. And the end of his career, he played with Mike Trout, who he beat out for an MVP award once upon a time. And so, like, there's to me, I think that's part of the issue is that it's just kind of like when he is timed in with some of these guys that that like some of them overshadowed him in that you've got, Pujols and Trout who are maybe closer to the middle of the inner circle of the Hall of Fame than Miggy is, even though Miggy is, that like one of the few guys who, I think he's the only one ever to have 3,000 hits, 500 home runs, 2 MVPs, and a Triple Crown, right? So I think so much of it is just dependent on who the guys who were his contemporaries as anything. But to me, he goes down as one of the absolute best right-handed hitters of all time. And maybe in that sense, he's a little bit like Eddie Murray, right? Like Murray is kind of the forgotten member of the 500 homer, 3,000 hit club. I guess him and Palmeiro, but Palmeiro for different reasons because he shortly thereafter he gets suspended for steroid use. And so like, I think maybe that's part of what drives it. But to me, Cabrera is just, he's one of the best of all time, period. Like he's in that short list of hitters who, should be in that inner circle in the Hall of Fame that are like, no doubt slam dunk 95+%, first ballot Hall of Famers.
The last 300 inning pitcher, according to the Baseball Reference, Steve Carlton, 1980.
Wow, 42 years ago.
The last American League 300 inning pitcher, Jim Palmer, 1977.
Wow.
Okay.
So
it's been a while.
Been a fur piece. Been a fur piece.
77, you've got like Dave Goltz, Steve Rogers, all with 300 innings. Like, yeah, it just doesn't. It's been starting pitching has evolved significantly over the last 40 years.
Yeah, no, it has. It is changed, and I personally, occasionally I would like to see a pitcher, go the distance. Of course, you want
to see them running the damn ball in football,
or swinging a bat occasionally in the batter's box. But that's another point.
Not adjusting their gloves.
Sometimes these things happen. Right now, we've got the Athletics, the Pirates, and the Rockies all hovering at or above 500.
Which is a surprise.
Best advice for these teams' fans, enjoy it while it lasts.
Yes. So the Rockies are interesting because they actually have a pretty good rotation, right? So that's the one thing is like, have they fixed the offense away from cores? I'm gonna guess no, but that's one that I think is a little bit interesting to follow, right? Like they could do that. Miami, who were the other ones you mentioned? Did you mention Miami in that? Miami can really pitch too. They can't.
I didn't mention Miami, but yeah.
But Oakland, who Josh can't name 5 players on, is not going to be in the mix at the end of the year. Like Pittsburgh, it's not, it's 16 games, right? So like, there's not a whole lot of these teams that you look at that are off to these good starts and you go, well, there's a whole lot of staying power in that group. Miami is interesting because of their starting pitching. As I mentioned, Colorado is interesting because of their starting pitching and because of their home ballpark is going to change the equation some. Of the team that's at 500 or right around there that I'm the most interested in, I think it's Minnesota, which I don't believe you mentioned either. And Minnesota is a really talented young team. I didn't even realize it until this morning, but they only have one member of their regular lineup who's 30. Everybody else is younger than that. Gio Urshela is 30. Everybody else is, between 24 and 29. And with Buxton and Correa, I think those are, obviously 2 impactful offensive players, and their starting pitching has been decent. So of those teams that are around break even, I'd say that they're the ones that's the most likely to do that. But otherwise, those supposed also fans, I would say, just enjoy it. It's the longer you can stay in it, the happier your summer's going to be.
I singled out those three specifically because those were teams that had lowest expectations among the group, obviously coming into the season. Now, Mike, I don't think I believe because of the way our technology works, you're not going to be able to hear this audio.
Cool.
But our friends will. I'm going to explain what this is. So this is a snippet. It's an interview done by the ABC affiliate in Cincinnati.
Oh, I was going to ask about this.
They are
holy crap, man.
They are interviewing fans, Reds fans who have bags on their heads. And on the bags it says "Sell the team, Bob."
Awesome.
Bob Castellini is the owner who famously said what, Mike?
Well, it's his son Phil, who's the chief operating officer, who said when asked about selling the team or what was going to happen if fans didn't like the direction they were in, he said, well, where else are you going to go?
Right. Yeah. So you're going to hear this is a snippet from the interview. At the very end, you're going to hear a Reds team representative, someone from probably public relations or someone who's off camera.
The Keith Mann of the Reds.
Probably. Telling the guys to take their bags off their heads.
Okay. I've always been a huge Reds fan. I love baseball, and I just want the team to want to win. So we figured we'd come out and support the players, but do anything in our power to not support the ownership group.
You can't have your bags on your head. You gotta take them off.
You gotta take
I think that was an usher who came to do that, who probably was feeling like they needed to protect the team more than that was. That was definitely not somebody. I know Reds PR. That definitely was not somebody.
All right. Well, either way, someone from the team is saying you got to take the bags off the heads. But the problem is the Reds have a situation right now. I mean, the fans are very upset with the owners. The team's in terrible disarray at this point, and we know that major league owners don't necessarily like to sanction their own. So what other recourse do Reds fans have right now with the Castellini?
Well, I mean, where else are you going to go? I mean, I think the great thing about Major League Baseball's blackout rules is that there are like 29 other teams that are available to be able to watch in Cincinnati. So if you'd like to change your affiliation, you're more than welcome to.
Fan?
Well,
you don't grew up with them.
You don't have to be. I mean, that's the thing is we get to choose. Like, it's not like there's not even like a contract with this. It's not like divorce. Like, we don't even have to give up half to leave or a quarter to leave or whatever it is to leave this relationship. You can just choose to root for somebody else. You can choose to root for other players. And it's easier than ever before. And I think when you look at the trends of what young people look for in sports, those that actually follow sports, which Generation Z does not seem to have the same fervent interest that millennials like Josh or certainly Gen Xers like you and I do, John, that they're not as passionate about sports as we are, and that younger fans tend to follow players versus teams. It's more like the international soccer model where you're going to root for the team that has your favorite player on it. And so I think they run a dangerous risk by criticizing the fans or by saying, where else are you going to go? Each major league team gets $65 million before they even open the gates just from their national television contract. Most every local TV contract guarantees them at least $40 million, if not more. And in the cases of some, a lot more, the bigger markets. So before they even open the doors, they've got $100 million coming in just from television deals. And then adds ticket sales, which are approximately 40 to 50% of the revenue, depending on which market you're in, and concessions and parking and all of this. And even with big organizations having to pay scouts and executives and ticket takers and security, there was the line from Dick Monfort, the owner of the Rockies, that got leaked during the CBA negotiations, where he was trying to implore how expensive it was to employ security people. Even with that, you should be able to spend enough money to field a competitive team. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to be competitive, but it doesn't mean you also have to gut it. And I think what you're seeing a lot of this is teams that are trying to make up the revenue that they lost in 2020. There were teams that lost money in 2020. I don't think it's quite as dire as many of the owners have made it seem. What they did lose is they lost revenue, and they want to try and get that revenue back as quickly as they can. And so you see some instances of teams, and I think Cincinnati is one of those, where they've pared the payroll all the way back in an effort to try and get some of that bottom line under control, get some more money in the coffers before they decide to go and spend again. Now, the other thing is that they had a window of competition that was closing pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And as disappointing as it is that they, didn't sign Castellanos or traded Sonny Gray or any of the moves that they made, they were waiting for this next wave of talent that's starting to get to the big leagues to come through. Could they have done more to bridge that gap for another year? Probably. But they're also trying to enter into this next wave of talent that they've been developing, and we'll see what it looks like in 2 years. They may have a relatively inexpensive and immensely talented team. I'm a little bit skeptical of where they are, but certainly Hunter Green and Nick Lodolo have looked really good so far, and Lodolo at times, Green for the most part, and that's something that you can build around in that rotation.
Mike, speaking of picking a favorite team, so I am now a Royals fan, of course, a diehard Royals fan. And
always have been.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Saturday.
Who's your favorite Royal player of all time?
Alex Gordon. So at the start of the game,
That's
decided, and there are other players too that have played for them. Moustakis.
Who's the greatest player in Royals history?
George Brett. Nailed it. All right. So anyway,
who else's number is retired?
Jackie Robinson. You can't wait for 42 in Kansas City.
Wow.
Spot the line. Spot the line. So I was
Frank
watching.
White erasure.
So I was watching the beginning of the game on Saturday. They score a run, and then they get outscored by a lot. We turn on the NBA playoffs, and then we find out, whoa, the game is tied at 7-7. Let's turn the Royals game back on. Bottom of the eighth happens. The Mariners score 6 runs, and then they end up losing.
Way to go, nephew Scott.
The next day, we weren't watching it. It's like, oh, hey, it's a close game. Let's turn it on. We turn it on, and we literally saw the game-winning hit by the Mariners. Do I need to apologize to Royals fans for joining their fandom? That's my question.
Not the only reason you need to apologize to them.
Go Royals. Go Royals. Are the Mariners finally the best team in baseball? I think that's what we're watching.
Basically what you're doing is you're trying to this was a reverse engineering, right? Like this was like the reverse jinx. It's like, who are the Mariners playing next? Will you be a fan of that team then so that you can try and get the Mariners to the postseason? Is that what's happening?
She's a huge Royals fan. She's like an actual Royals fan. And so we're watching the games, and I'm trying to watch, to be a good interviewer for Mike Farron. And, then
why don't you have this same philosophy with football? Why don't you adopt her favorite football team?
Hell no. She's an Eagles fan, Mike.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. Disgusting.
She knows what it's like
to
win a Super Bowl.
Since we started dating, Dallas is much better than Philadelphia, and they keep winning all the time. Anyway, yeah. So there you go. Royals. Baseball.
Royals disappointing start with the pitching. I'm a little bit surprised that it is where it is, but
couldn't agree more.
Young, and I think that their brighter days are ahead. Did you see the City Connect uniforms?
We talked about it on the show yesterday.
Yeah, because she wants to get one of the jerseys. Have you seen? I mean, we know about the supply chain, Mike. Have you seen how much replica jerseys are these days?
Oh, are they $450 for those? Yeah, that's usually what they are.
Just for the replica. Back in my day, $160 would get you an authentic jersey.
That's not a supply chain issue. That's just the
damn it,
way
man,
they're pricing them. I would like them at some point to stop using navy in every City Connect jersey because like half of them are navy. Like we have enough navy and enough red in Major League Baseball uniforms, but that logo is great. The fountain logo, I want the cap really badly.
It is good. It is good. I think
and
it's universally
how much
accepted.
hats are. Almost $50. Back in my day, again, $25 for a hat. Man, is this what it's like to get old, Mike? I just complain about everything. Like John, the whole interview. Man, remember baseball back in the 70s? This is what I'm going to do now.
Actually, I don't. I didn't start watching until like 81.
Patrick Mahomes, Sonny, he was better than whoever you have.
How much did you pay for that hat?
Like
it was too much.
I think this was a Christmas gift, actually. Thank you, Mom and Dad.
Mike Farron of Sirius XM MLB Radio.
Hey, did Jeff Passan respond?
No.
Damn it. All right, maybe someday.
But I will keep you posted.
That'd be so funny if you had Jeff Passan. I would ask you for
of all
questions.
the people that are in Farron's Rolodex, and you ask for Passan. Nothing against Passan.
Well, I mean, who's more famous? Who's the most famous person you have in your phone?
Oh, gosh, I don't know.
Do you have like any historically great baseball players in your phone?
Yes, Mickey Mantle's number is in Mike's phone.
What? He's dead. Jeez, John. R.I.P.
Do I have Randy's number in my phone?
Whoa, Johnson?
Savage?
I don't have Randy's number in my phone. Savage. Also dead. Also a professional baseball player, but
That's right, Randy Poffo of the St. Louis
who the
Cardinals.
most famous person I have in my phone is. The most famous person I've called on the show was Emmett Smith. That's the only time, Mike, I've ever been nervous as a producer was when I had to call Emmett Smith.
That's funny because I was nervous every time I came on when you were a producer.
That I would screw it up?
Yes.
And look at me now, Mike. Look at me now.
I don't know who the most famous person I have in my phone is.
It's a fun question.
We started this conversation talking about pictures. Mike, I wanted to share this one of Josh.
Oh, good Lord. Why? Wow. Why did David share that picture that I took myself, a private moment between friends on a vacation?
This was Josh on vacation a couple of weeks ago.
I was having a good time that night, Mike.
Yeah.
Apparently. Was there a supply chain issue with combs too, or what?
Hey, it was humid AF down there. My hair is curly naturally, so bad times with the hair. Bad times.
That is a bad look, man.
Fun times though, Mike.
When I come to Omaha for the College World Series, will you just sport that look the entire time I'm there?
It will be humid that time, so I can bring it back.
Well, that depends. Will you be able to see him on the golf course? I know you want to actually come to the baseball games.
Oh, does Josh not have to work with the shows that the
Literal
station does?
fake
Make
news.
Damon do all the work, huh?
Well, he did just tweet, so
It's pretty much everybody. It's all hands on deck except Josh.
Fake news. The wrong.
Bigger surprise, I would say, is the Rangers' young pitching staff. And a slow start, I'm not going to make much of Damon, but the White Sox injury experiences or injury issues are something that are concerning. The Rangers being decent on the mound is a little bit of a surprise. Their offense is much better, but I don't think they're going to be very good this year. Still, they're moving in the right direction though with Seager and Semien. And
what the hell is this? A game show or something? We're just going to start randomly.
Hey, everybody, just start tweeting at Farron.
If Josh isn't going to ask me legitimate baseball questions, I'm going to answer the ones that I get.
Hey,
It's
I
Damon.
asked you one question that was legitimate.
You know that Damon's my favorite host on this station.
Wow.
Again, low bar to clear, but
yeah, that's true. You hate us.
I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna go to the right hander when it's time for this interview. We're gonna bring Damon in from the bullpen.
Okay, perfect.
Should.
Yeah. We never did a post spring breakdown with Damon.
I'm allergic to spring football.
John, what are your feelings about? We didn't even cover the USFL today, which I know you've.
I saw none of it. I just know that Mike Riley won, and we're back to 500.
Hell yeah, let's go, Mike.
I forget it exists until Tuesday when I get the text from you that says, "Hey, the Generals won." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, Mike Riley, Scott Frost, right? Football, right?"
Mike Farron, ladies and gentlemen, Sirius XM MLB Network Radio.
What a guy!
Until next week.
Yeah, if you say so.
Good luck. So
Bye,
long.
Mike.
So long, everybody.
Bye.
There he is, Mike Farron of Sirius XM MLB Network Radio.
Man, that picture. Yeah, David sends a message. He. Screw you, David.
I like the mileage you're getting out of
the
that,
scary
John.
thing was when I got the email, I don't remember what day of the week it was.
That was early.
Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
I was laying in bed, just about to go to bed when I saw the email come in from David, and I made the mistake of opening the attachment. I didn't sleep for hours. It was just like, oh my God.
Who's that handsome man? That's what you were saying. It was me.
Was that what it was?
It was me. Very handsome. And you were saying.
All right. Still to come. We have, what do we have? We have stuff.
I was going to say.
I wanted to get to some NFL stuff, so we did not get to yesterday.
Yeah, some things that are going to make you mad.
The old schedule's there. And we mentioned something about, Nebraska players getting drafted. We'll know when Nebraska's, starting to hit again when they're having more guys' names called on Thursday and Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's an interesting stat out there.
Oh, no. Is it another negative stat? The negative boys?
No. It's not. We already know Nebraska hasn't had a guy called on the first day in a decade. Right?
Boys. Yeah, it's been
and we know that the second day has been. So we're not but just where the teams are in terms of drafting or in terms of first 2-round draft picks.
Okay.
Amazing numbers. So all of that still to come. And we do have a little bit more frosty highlights to get to. 'Cause we didn't get to all of them on 1620 The Zone.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Miracle Hill Golf and Tennis. Dates are going fast for golf outings this spring and especially summer. Give them a call today at 402-498-0220 and book your summer event. Perhaps you have a wedding coming up this summer. Perhaps you are looking to do something with the office. Perhaps some of your best friends who would never share a photo of you with, I don't know, a random radio host are coming into town and you're looking for something to do together. Well, they put on incredible golf outings, whether it's something just for you and your closest of friends, all the way to something as large as a big office, up to 144 people. Of course, we will have Golf Flash coming up this summer, so you know that they put on a great show. Not to mention, of course, the Top Tracer building up and running as well. We finally have good weather. The sun is setting later and later every single day. It's time to get back on the course. 402-498-0220, Miracle Hill Golf and Tennis.
Your Omaha area forecast from Canoyer Garden Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Sunny, breezy, and pleasant into this evening with the temperatures in the upper 60s. We'll be mostly clear tonight, drop back in the lower 50s for low. Still warm on Wednesday and breezy with highs in the mid and upper 70s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV News Watch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. Heads up, we've got a crash on northbound 156th at Maple. An earlier accident on Northwest Radial at Hamilton's in cleanup stages, but still causing delays through there. A stall on Farnham at 36th is causing delays. And then stop-and-go traffic on northbound 90th between Blondo and Maple. And stop-and-go traffic on eastbound 370 between the JFK and Golden Boulevard. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Lanahan Nurseries.
Shop Lanahan Nurseries for all your mulch needs. Best quality mulch at the best price. You'll notice our prices are lower than anybody else's. That's because you're buying your mulch straight from where it's made. Convenient delivery or pickup. Lanahan Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
Well, Nebraska, we knew it would happen. The political establishment and their dark money are flooding the airwaves with negative ads. Ads filled with lies. Their target? Conservative Charles W. Herbster. They attacked President Trump. Now they're lying about Charles W. Herbster. Fact: Charles Herbster will cut taxes for all Nebraskans. His pledge: property taxes must be cut, and no new taxes on gas, medicine, or groceries. Fact: Charles Herbster has paid all his taxes and fees, every single penny. Fact: Charles is the only conservative candidate with the courage to finally fix our broken tax system once and for all. The political establishment and dark money special interests, they won't tell you the truth. Charles W. Herbster is the only conservative who will cut taxes and fix our broken system. Paid for by Herbster for Nebraska.
Watching a ball game at Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill is just, well, pretty awesome, actually. And it doesn't matter if you prefer the college dink or the big league crack of the bat. There's nothing better than watching a game with a cold, frosty one, Oscar's Pizza, or award-winning char-buffed wings with Oscar's Thai chili bourbon wing sauce. And with daily lunch and dinner specials, it's really a no-brainer. So get ready to watch your favorite team play ball at Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill, 173rd and West Center Road, and takeout at 162nd and Maple.
At Dingman's, our first priority is protecting your safety. We are here to be your personal advocate to ensure you receive safe, proper repairs by the highest skilled technicians in the industry. Stop in to experience the Dingman difference today. At Dingman's, we would rather be the best than apologize for anything less.
Spring is in the air, but are you ready for summer? Team up with Genesis Health Clubs today and you'll be ready. We're inviting you to be your absolute best this summer. No compromises, no regrets, just you, full of the sort of confidence only fitness can bring. This is your summer to feel great, look great, and have more energy. Start your membership at Genesis Health Clubs and save $25 per month every single month. $25 per month every single month. Hurry, just 4 days left. This summer is for you. Get yourself mentally and physically ready for vacations, pool parties, and barbecues in just a few short months. But you don't have to wait. You can start to feel better and have more energy today while you work towards your fitness goals. You are worth it. Join Genesis Health Clubs today and save $25 per month every single month. Hurry, just 4 days left. Join Genesis Health Clubs today and save $25 per month every single month. Summer is coming, and this is going to be your best summer ever. But hurry, this offer ends soon. Go to GenesisHealthClubs.com or stop by the club today. Hurry, just 4 days left.
Hey, Tapper, join Josh and I this Friday at Warner Park before the Omaha Storm Chasers host the Toledo Mud Hens. The Chasers are back in action with an exciting team full of future Major League stars, so join the Connor Happer Show Friday at Warner Park on 1620 The Zone.
Save $25 per month every month at GenesisHealthClubs.com.
Make the right call, fans. The Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
It's Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
We're pretty cool guys.
We are pretty cool guys.
Pretty cool guys.
On 1620 The Zone.
Get to some NFL stuff here in just a little bit because how you absorb the league this year could be a little bit different. And God, Black Friday could be the most crowded day of sports ever if the NFL gets their way, or if a certain media company gets their way. But just going to let you all know right now, if you're getting ready for
the College World Series,
get ready. Is your mic not working?
Not working.
You killed it. You killed it. If you're looking forward to the College World Series, did the plug come on? I don't know.
What'd you? I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything.
You got a weird smile on your face over there, Nick.
I didn't do anything.
Well, get ready for a big orange invasion because
ow.
Ooh, I heard something. I heard something electrical. Oh, I heard something electrical there.
I'm gonna wait for him to stop messing with it before I turn it back on. Nope.
This is interesting.
I'll send an email.
Get ready for the Tennessee Volunteers is what I'm trying to say. They are on one hell of a bender. 37-3 right now. They have outscored their opponents by almost 300 runs. And it's not like they're playing cream puffs here. I mean, we're talking SEC baseball.
Well, who was it recently? It said they're like the best college baseball team ever.
I don't know if they're
among the best college baseball teams ever.
If they continue on this pace, they'll definitely be threatening some pretty serious records for, recent winning percentages, by the way. Vandy was an .831 win percentage in 2019. This is full seasons, of course. Oregon State, 82%. Miami, 82%. Fullerton, 86%. The record is Arizona State back in 1972. They went 64-6. That's a 914 winning percentage.
Oh, man.
The Oregon State team in 2017, if you remember
that was the one that
That was
apart.
that was the Luke Heimlich team.
When the story broke right at the end of the year.
Yeah, they were 56-5
going into the postseason, or
I believe 56-5 was what they finished.
Wow! So they had 3 losses going into the College World Series.
I believe so.
Wow,
I believe so. But just get ready for a Tennessee Big Orange invasion. I meant to share this yesterday. This happened. I don't know what it is with small college baseball. Last week, we had the pitcher who threw at the guy rounding the base for hitting a home run against him. This apparently is a real thing. I tweeted it out yesterday from the J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter feed. But in a game this weekend, you had Kansas Wesleyan versus Bethany College, which is a small college in Kansas.
Yeah.
The Kansas Wesleyan Barstool account, Barstool's got accounts everywhere, tweeted out a picture of the Gatorade jug. And inside the Gatorade jug,
and this is real, right?
This apparently is real. Kendall Rogers of D1 Baseball actually checked it out and said this is actually real. But it's a picture inside the Gatorade jug where you normally just see the purple Gatorade or the orange Gatorade or whatever color it is. Well, it looks like it's purple Gatorade, but there's like white stuff floating around in it. And if you look at the side of the Gatorade jug, the outer layer of plastic is peeling off, and it is peeled off inside and it's deposited itself inside the Gatorade. And the tweet read, "Putting paint thinner in our water coolers to get our baseball players sick. And still getting toasted by 31 runs is wild. Stay classy. Glad our players are okay." But allegedly, they're accusing the Bethany players or someone with Bethany baseball. Because usually, when you go on the road, they provide you with, water jug, Gatorade jug, stuff like that, so you're not having to travel. They're actually accusing someone of putting paint thinner.
Now, have they responded?
I have not seen an official response.
Because it's one thing to mess around with your opposition, or even to like steal signs or something. It's another to outright poison them. I mean, you're talking about like breaking laws.
That's actually illegal.
Yeah, this is literally an illegal act to commit. Crazy.
Yeah, this is from the Associated Press. Bethany College is investigating an allegation someone associated with its baseball program deliberately contaminated a water cooler.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, this isn't an accident. You're not going to accidentally put paint thinner inside of a water jug.
But that is small college baseball is getting really intense.
Yeah, seriously, man. What's going on in that?
They're going after folks.
Yeah.
All right, so coming up,
hopefully my mic works.
Josh is going to get his mic working.
Hopefully.
We're going to tell you which teams have had the most players selected in the first 2 rounds of the draft, and the kind of company Nebraska is hoping to keep one day. Coming up. Also, might be watching a little bit more football on days of the week we're not used to watching football. Just get ready for all of that. And we have a happy hour coming up where I'm going to defend this program. Not this program.
The program.
That program down there, down the road in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Okay.
From these heinous anonymous attacks.
Anonymous
attacks.
Ooh.
Remember, I went on the big anonymous kick 2 summers ago. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. You were very anti-anonymous.
Not a big fan of all these anonymous people.
Put your name on it.
Put your name on it. Well, we got anonymous attacks on Nebraska football, and I'm going to stand up for them coming up on 1620 The Zone. Our zone deal this week is for Cops. Cops Pizza, delicious pizza, salads, tasty charred wings. They even offer a keto crust for those of you who are doing the keto diet. They've got a new menu at Shadow Lake with 30 new items, including steaks.
What?
Visit them at 75th and Jones or at Shadow Lake Town Center. You can get $50 worth of vouchers for only $25. They go on sale this Friday at 1620thezone.com.
Win $5,000 to give your garage a spring makeover. Or a $2,500 gift card from Langfeld Overhead Doors. It's the 5K Garage Makeover. Get all the details and enter to win at 1620thezone.com. From Langfeld Overhead Doors and 1620 The Zone.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Being in business 100 years can't be easy. Rotella's Bakery is that business. Great family-owned and operated business that understands the needs of the community. They specialize in breads and rolls made from the highest quality ingredients, ensuring that they are superior in taste. At Rotella's, with 5 great generations represented, the American success story is combined with customer satisfaction, and they don't compromise in quality. For more information about their specialty breads, you can visit rotellasbakery.com.
Pandemic-impacted homeowners may be at risk of losing their homes, which is why the state of Nebraska is providing relief through the Homeowner Assistance Fund. Qualified homeowners can receive up to $30,000 in assistance for past due mortgage payments, past due real estate taxes, HOA dues, and homeowners or flood insurance. Funds will be distributed until they run out, and they do not need to be paid back. View qualifications and apply today at nebraskahaf.com. That's nebraskahaf.com.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Brookside Medical Clinic. Is erectile dysfunction damaging your relationship? Are you sick of the pill and all the side effects? Well, welcome to the future. We have a major medical breakthrough. Brookside Medical Clinic uses the most advanced form of wave therapy. Backed by 60 clinical studies, our technology uses pressure waves to repair and open up blood vessels. We've helped countless men get rid of their ED. But what is the true end result? Their relationship, even their lives, improve drastically. If you're ready to regain your love life, call us right now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, we'll also give you a gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. It almost never fails. This is worth $550, and it's free to callers right now. 402-671-7777. That's 402-671-7777. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and experience what I call the happiness ripple effect. Call Brookside Medical Clinic now. 402-671-7777.
Anywhere fans go to cheer on their team, there are behind-the-scenes MVPs ensuring everything is game day ready. We see you, Joe, fixing seats so every fan can enjoy every game. And Allie, who keeps her stadium running smoothly from the moment the first game starts to the last play of the season. At Grainger, you're our MVPs, and we're always here for you, with supplies and solutions for every industry and 24/7 customer support. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, this is Dave Osted from Osted's Golf. Let us make this your best season yet. Voted a top 100 fitter by Golf Digest, our master fitters have been trained by the same guys that build clubs for PGA pros like Rory, Tiger, DJ, and Jordan. Have old clubs? Trade them in Osted's Value Guide, or have our club specialists get your clubs swinging like new. Go to our website and make your fitting appointment. You're a click away from a better golf game. Play better, have fun, and shop Osted's.
Searching for your next vehicle? Shop Woodhouse first. Over 1,000 pre-owned vehicles in stock and on our lots, with new trades arriving daily that you can explore on woodhouse.com. Plus, confidence comes standard when you purchase a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Woodhouse. With our multi-point inspection, transparent pricing, available add-on warranties, and financing options, purchasing a pre-owned vehicle has never been simpler. Experience the difference and drive away today confident and road-ready in your new vehicle from Woodhouse.
The best part of your summer night is listening to Royals baseball on 1620 The Zone.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
Welcome back. John and Josh with Nick and the NFL draft this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. May see the first second-day pick for Nebraska in quite a while with Cam Jurgens probably likely headed somewhere in that second round. But Chris Felica, a.k.a. the Bear from ESPN's College Game Day, tweeted this out. Since 2016, these are players selected in the first two rounds by school.
Okay.
So we are talking 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. We're talking 6 drafts.
So obviously this is in the Nick Saban era. You got Clemson being really good, and then you have the crossover of Ryan Day and Urban Meyer at Ohio State.
Alabama. Well, you know what? I'm going to start. This is the top, what it looks like about 10, 11 teams.
I know there are a couple schools in here who do not have good records or who have not been very good.
Well, you named one coach who's not on this list.
Oh, is that Clemson?
Clemson.
Yeah.
Clemson,
I guess that makes sense.
Clemson does not have more than one player taken in the first 2 rounds since 2016, believe it or not.
That can't be true. Deshaun Watson was a first rounder, and then Trevor Lawrence went number 1.
Well, then maybe his numbers are off. Maybe you know what? Maybe this isn't the complete list, but this is a comparative list.
Okay.
I bet that's what it is. It's probably a comparative list. It's not the list.
Is this a tweet you said?
Yeah, it was a tweet that he sent out. But so we'll start at the top. Alabama has had 36 players taken in the first 2 rounds since 2016. That's an average of 6 players every year.
I wonder why they're so good on the football field.
Ohio State has had 25. That's a really good number, by the way.
It is.
That's an average of basically 4 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, I don't think this is a complete list, but it's a comparative list.
Yes, you are correct.
Ole Miss has 9.
Mm-hmm.
TCU has 7. Iowa's got 6. But I just, if you want to be in the conversation, you got to have, you have to be in, like the rest of those schools, Iowa's been okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Mississippi State's been okay. TCU has been okay. If Nebraska's going to get back to a conversation where they're okay, then you're looking at 6, 7, 8, 9 players over the course of 6 drafts taken in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah.
And if you want to get into the conversation of being better than okay, you want to be in double digits.
Well,
and no one's expecting Nebraska to turn into Alabama. No one's expecting anyone to turn into Alabama for that measure. But when you look at Ohio State, 25.
Mm-hmm. It just shows the neighborhood that you're trying to join.
Yeah, that's the neighborhood you want to be in.
Yeah, and so he had a follow-up tweet where it was Power 5 schools with 0 first-round picks in the last 6 drafts. And
in first and second, first round.
This is just first round.
Just first round.
So now this is the rarest of the rare, but you have 5 from the ACC, 5 from the Big 12, 5 from the Big 10, 3 from the Pac-12, and only 1 from the SEC. And I'm going to name some of these schools: Wake Forest, Syracuse, Virginia, Pitt, who just won their league, by the way, and they're about to have a first rounder, maybe
probably.
And Kenny Pickett.
He'll be
Tech,
first 2 rounds for sure.
Texas, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Iowa State, Kansas, Indiana, Rutgers, Illinois, Purdue, and of course Nebraska, Oregon State, Arizona, Cal, and then Vandy. And so it's interesting because that list is a combination of the lowest rungs of the sport and actually some, I'd say, overachievers, schools that maybe play a little above their weight class. Oklahoma State, I think, is a fine example of that. They were a yard away from winning the league and probably going to the college football playoff. And yet, going back to 2016 in the last 6 drafts, they have no first-round draft picks.
Crazy.
It's pretty crazy. And then you have real big underachievers. I would put Nebraska in this, given the neighborhood in which they recruit in.
Sure, because if you recruit average top 20 class, top 25 class,
you should be able to get one of those guys.
You would think at least
first rounder,
1 first rounder every 6 years.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, just one that you can fall into a great developmental story. Heck, even get a player out of the transfer portal that becomes a first-round pick. Yeah, so you have
or
Nebraska.
Just take your highest-rated player and actually make them
develop,
good, which has been really, in my opinion, one of Nebraska's biggest problems. Is their highest-rated players, and we've done this plenty in hits, misses, and guys. But Nebraska's had such a terrible hit rate with its highest-rated recruits. The 4-stars that they've gotten.
Yeah,
they haven't turned any of those 4-stars into top 2-round draft picks. They might finally get one.
And then Texas,
on Friday.
Texas, of course, also another big time, underachiever as well. So yeah, I like the point that you're trying to make because it's, it's less even, hey, to be Ohio State, this is what you have to do. No. It's more just to kind of show the neighborhood that those schools are living in. And also, I mean, it's funny because the last few years, this has been the story in the NFL draft. I remember a lot of conversations last year. This shows Nebraska needs more talent. And that is definitely true. But the conversation is definitely going to flip in a few days because then it's going to be, how the hell do they have all these guys getting drafted? And yet they had a 3-9 record to show for it, And maybe last year that wasn't all the truth, just like this year is not going to be all the truth. It's going to be somewhere in the middle, but it certainly is going to be a fascinating discussion to have.
Last week, the NFL announced that they're going to be playing triple header on Christmas next year because Christmas falls on a Saturday. Which means actually Sunday. It falls on a Sunday. Most of the games that weekend will be Saturday.
Correct. Which is actually back for the longest time when Christmas was a Sunday. They would move like all the games to Saturday, and then they'd like have one primetime game.
Usually it was like a prime, one like primetime game,
a Sunday night game, or even an afternoon game on Christmas. But for the most part, they stayed away from Christmas.
Now they're looking at doing a triple header, so it's big middle finger to the NBA.
It absolutely is.
And now Amazon Prime wants to move on to Black Friday. And I think we talked about this a few weeks ago.
Yes.
That there was at least talk about this. Well,
they want to do it now.
The NFL meetings in Florida, the owners did pass a resolution that gives the NFL permission to schedule 2 more teams for a second short week game. Thus, Black Friday, because Amazon Prime wants a game on Black Friday. And you're asking, why does Amazon Prime want a game on Black Friday? What is so special? Well, think about it.
It's Black Friday.
With more people buying their Christmas stuff online, what better way to draw people to your website to buy Christmas gifts on the most popular shopping day of the year than by having something to draw them there too, or give them a reason to become a member of Amazon so that they can then watch football and order Christmas gifts. And so it's not sure if they're going to be able to do it this year.
See, in this
but
year,
they definitely want to have it done
by next year.
My
prediction is it will definitely happen next year. I almost don't think it's going to happen this year because this year is a unique Black Friday in that, of course, you have the normal college football stuff, but also the United States is playing England in the World Cup. And so it's going to be an incredible sports day. And look, the NFL doesn't care about anything else. They think they can beat everything else, and they should.
And they will, and they likely will.
But I almost wonder is it too late in the game this year to get this done? But we'll see this now as a thing next year and beyond.
Now they cannot play a primetime game. There is still a rule that they have to. They are not allowed primetime games on Fridays until December
and Saturday, yeah, because of college football and high school football.
Correct.
Yeah, like that's like a law,
right? So if they did do it on Black Friday, it would be an afternoon game, meaning likely there would be an NFL game going on opposite Nebraska's traditional Black Friday date.
And that's also 1:00 Central is when the U.S. men's national team is playing too, and so it would make for a just super duper busy Friday afternoon. How do you feel about this? Forget this year, just in broad strokes. Because I mentioned it on the show yesterday. The response that I saw on Monday was, if you're a college football person, and that's what I know you as, a lot of hatred of this. Don't like it, stay off our day. But a lot of the NFL people that I saw that I know are not fans of college football, mainly because they're where they're from. You know, like there's a New York sports writer that I follow in particular who writes for Sports Illustrated. And he was like, awesome, bring this on. More another day to bet on the NFL.
I don't think it's good for the sport.
For the NFL or
for the sport of football.
Yeah.
Listen, I get it. The NFL is the biggest dog out there. But and part of this also stems from not a huge fan of the college football Friday night games. I do like the fact that people kind of stay in their lane and look out for the other levels of the sport. Black Friday has been a college football day for 30 plus years, probably more than that. Nebraska first played on Black Friday, I think back in the 60s or maybe the early 70s. I get why, and this is an Amazon-driven thing.
It makes all the sense.
This is an Amazon-driven thing because they want to bring in the shoppers, and I get all of that. I don't know if this is so much an NFL-driven thing.
No, I imagine
but
the NFL
the NFL is the one that gets to tell them, "Hey, this is what we're giving you."
Yeah.
So ultimately, whether the decision was motivated by them or not, they're the ones that get to approve it. So if they approve it, it means they want it.
Two things about this. If you do this, and Peter King pointed this out in his write-up yesterday, it does present a real logistical challenge in terms of the number of games that are then available for Sunday. Because right now there are 3 Thanksgiving games.
Yep.
Okay, that week there are 16 games because it's a full week of games. So 3 games are on Thursday. 1 game is on Monday. So right now you're down to 12 games on Sunday. One of those is at night. So now you're down to 11 games across the noon and the 3:25 window. Well, let's take one of those out because one of those is the national game. So now we're talking about 10 football games that, are a part of the red zone package or the Sunday ticket package, whatever. If you remove another one of those, it makes that Sunday really, really light. And they don't want that. They don't want 8 games on Sunday, 9 games on Sunday. They want as full of a schedule as possible. So you have that. The other thing that I would add on, I'm with you. This is an Amazon move. But I don't think we can forget that the NFL just does not care about competition anymore like they used to. Because remember, for the longest time, when I was growing up, and definitely when you were growing up, the Sunday night of the World Series, which is like game 4 or 5 normally, they stayed away. There were no primetime games on Sunday night.
Yeah, they wouldn't do a Sunday night football.
And then at a certain point over the last decade, they gave the middle finger to baseball and said, wait, why are we giving up a night of our viewership for you when they're going to watch us anyway? So there's a part of me, I think it's going to happen, even though the logistical concern.
Oh, it's going to happen.
But they don't care. They do not care about the competition.
They don't. They don't. And again, I just don't think it's great for the overall health of football. I think at some point the NFL, being the ultimate caretakers of the sport, because it's played at the most elite level and it's the highest profile version of football we have, does have a bit of a responsibility to look out for the little guy, the colleges and the high schools. And yeah, it's just one game, and it's not like, Black Friday's loaded with college football, but it is a college football
Yeah, it's a
day.
traditional day, but, very rarely anymore do you get true, blockbuster matchups. Those are rare.
But can you imagine, back when Nebraska was cooking
really good.
and the Black Friday game was Oklahoma or Colorado.
And it mattered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you got an NFL game going on opposite that. That would have changed a lot of people's viewing habits.
Mm-hmm.
Would have taken some eyeballs off of that and moved them over to the NFL game. And it's even more pronounced today because the NFL has continued to expand its profile and its audience over everybody else. It dwarfs everybody else.
Yeah. Jordan says, wouldn't Cyber Monday be a bigger deal for Amazon? I'll be honest, I don't know what gets more people to buy stuff.
Well, but
Cyber
here's
Monday
the
or
thing.
Black Friday, but Black Friday it's like a symbiotic relationship.
But here's the thing. That's Monday. That's for Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
This isn't competing
This
with
is a
any other
brand new
form
of. It's a brand
of-
new thing that they can invent themselves.
Yeah, it's just another
Black
day.
Friday
that
NFL.
we can move on to the schedule.
Yeah.
So not a fan, but unfortunately, it's not really going to matter. that
Yeah,
much.
it's like, oh, John's against it, but
They don't.
okay, yeah, they don't care. Because you know what? Here's the thing: if your Rams play, what are you doing? You're watching.
Yeah. So coming up, anonymous sources are taking down your Nebraska football program. Some of the things that were said were interesting, but are they accurate? We'll talk next. Guns and Hoses coming up Saturday, May 7th at 7. Liberty First Credit Union Arena. I did not know they got naming rights to Ralston Arena.
Oh, wow. I didn't know
I
that
found that
either.
out last week.
Wow.
Liberty First Credit Union Arena.
Okay.
That's what it is now, a.k.a. the Ralston Arena. It's put on by the Police Officers Association and the Professional Firefighters Association. The event offers them this once-a-year rivalry to raise money for local charities. Get all the details at 1620thezone.com.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone. 1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. Heads up, got a crash on southbound 144th at Harrison. That's causing stop-and-go traffic back from Stony Brook Boulevard. A crash on northbound 156th, just past Maple, is still causing delays through there. Getting reports of stop-and-go traffic on northbound 90th between Blondo and Maple. And the same goes with stop-and-go traffic on westbound 370 between the JFK and Golden Boulevard. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Fernando's Omaha.
Come on, when was the last time you had your Fernando's fix? It doesn't get any better than lunch, dinner, carry-out, even catering from Fernando's. Get your Fernando's fix. 114th and Dodge, 75th and Pacific, and FernandosOmaha.com.
Email any of our shows anytime into the Equitable Bank inbox. At Equitable, we take banking personally. For me, John at 1620thezone.com. The Equitable Bank inbox from 1620 The Zone.
Want to do something nice for a veteran? Then stop by any 42 Degree location and receive an extra discount with your donation of can or box food and hygiene products for the Veterans Food Pantry of Omaha. Donate 2 cans and receive an extra 5%. 4 get you 10%. 6 or more, 15%. With multiple locations, the most knowledgeable and friendliest staff, and a drop-off point for all your food and hygiene products for the Veterans Food Pantry. 42 Degrees, the source by your mom's house.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Did you know that radon is the #1 cause of lung cancer for non-smokers and that our region has some of the highest levels in the country? Radon Defense Midwest can test and fix your home. Visit radonradio.com for an exclusive offer for 1620 The Zone listeners. That's radonradio.com.
Sundays with the Omaha Storm Chasers are packed with fun for the entire family. Brought to you by Nebraska Medicine. Bring the family out, including your pups, for Bark in the Park every Sunday. Want to receive a free burn ticket? Bring 3 cans of non-perishable food items to the Warner Park box office to receive a free ticket courtesy of Hy-Vee. Wrap up the day with Kids Run the Bases. For full details or to pre-register your pup, visit OmahaStormChasers.com.
Everyone get on your feet, stir up the storm with family.
Mike Capel here, serial entrepreneur with words from another happy payroll customer.
Patriot Software has saved our business by allowing me to focus on other aspects of the business rather than spending so much time on multiple platforms to do the things entailed on running a business. I found Patriot by complete accident, and I don't regret it. It is continuing to save our company, and I'm extremely excited to see what else it entails.
Easy to learn, easy to use. Small business software tailored just for you.
Visit us at patriotsoftware.com. Use promo code RADIO and get 2 months of payroll free. That's patriotsoftware.com.
With patriotsoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Many people go back to the dealership out of habit or because they think the dealer is the only one who knows how to fix their car. At Omaha Car Care, we offer a better option. We have ASE certified technicians, the technology to service any vehicle, and free loaner cars. The dealer will sell you a package of services. We'll provide the service you want for your car as your trusted partner. I'm Rick Betker, owner of Omaha Car Care, and we'll be along for the ride.
The DJ's Hero Awards Luncheon is back at CHI Health Center Omaha. Join us Tuesday, May 3rd for a conversation about leadership and perseverance featuring NU legend Tom Osborne, former Creighton Athletic Director Bruce Rasmussen, and international businessman and Omaha native David Sokol. Plus, hear the inspirational stories of our Hero Awards scholarship honorees. Reserve your seat or your group table today at djshero.org. That's djshero.org.
Shop Woodhouse Place Hyundai and Nissan, 144th and Giles. KOZN, Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs.
Throw. 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 Throw.
Does your mic work?
The happy hour is on the air!
Welcome to the happy hour. Now, I'll warn you later in the hour. We'll wait till the bet of the day segment. We'll talk Saul. But
let's stay on clock then, because we got a lot to talk about.
Definitely a spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Definitely a spoiler alert coming up in our Saul conversation. So, Mitch Sherman of The Athletic did his State of the Program article. It's basically the season preview.
Yep.
Goes through, your typical season preview stuff, post-spring type stuff.
Roster breakdown. Because this is really, if we're being honest, these types of stories are for the other fans, of college football teams, because it gives you it dives deep, but it also gives you a broad view of, hey, here's who left. Here's who they've added. Here are the new coaches. Here's the schedule. Here are the expectations. Yada, yada, yada.
Well, in it, there's an opposing scouting report where they get an opposing coach, usually it's a conference/division rival coach, to dish a little bit on the program. And sometimes the comments are very flattering and sometimes the comments aren't very flattering. Just depends on which coach you get a hold of. And in order to get them to actually say these things out loud, they get them to do it anonymous. Well, this Big Ten assistant coach had this to say about Nebraska. There's a lot of unraveling that's taken place, and they need to try to mend that together and piece it together with an entirely new offensive staff. I don't know. The coach says he's impressed with Nebraska's talent, said they've got some dudes. But he also questions some of the things that have happened during the offseason. And this one kind of came out of left field to me because I don't remember. And granted, I don't work in coaches' circles. I don't talk in coaches' circles. I'm not around college football coaches. So their level of conversation and how they perceive a situation is different.
It's going to be a lot different, yeah,
from the rest of us. But his quote was, if you're a player, you'd have to think, why would Mark Whipple come to Nebraska after he just coached one of the best quarterbacks in the country? Just bizarre, to say the least. That's how I would describe everything that's going on there. Just bizarre. You've got receivers that are leaving. You've got a quarterback that's leaving. You've got coaches that are leaving. That's the quote from the anonymous Big Ten assistant. Why would Mark Whipple go to Nebraska after he coached just one of the best quarterbacks in the country? Is it really that bizarre? Am I that far out of touch with what coaches are thinking? Maybe, and it could be just this.
I was going to say, could
be just this coach.
Yeah.
But my guess is that, coaches talk to other coaches, right?
Mm-hmm.
This might be, maybe in the coaching circles, that was looked like as a curious move. But I remember when we talked about it, when Whipple came to Nebraska. Why wouldn't Whipple come to Nebraska? Right? The guy's been everywhere. Plus, he doubled his salary.
Well, and that's a huge part of the story.
He doubled his salary. And he's able to make in 2 years, because I think part of this is coming from the notion of, well, why would we want to go to Nebraska when, one more bad season and Frost is out of here?
And I think that's where that opinion came from, by the way.
But all you have to do is just look at the numbers. If Mark Whipple, who's here, if this staff gets blown out after this season, Whipple's got a 2-year deal. He is going to make, in those 2 years, the same amount of money it would have taken 4 years to make if he'd have stayed at Pitt, assuming he didn't get a raise. That's not too hard to understand. Is it?
Playing devil's advocate, is that not a mindset that maybe a one coach to another would really appreciate? Like, hey, he's leaving and he's going there and he's going to get paid, but the program might be in disarray. I guess here's maybe the better way to ask it. Would you have respect for someone doing that if they're walking into a situation that they know might be a failure or could or very likely will be a failure, but you're getting 2 years salary worth out of it? Because we spend a lot of time, and I'm playing devil's advocate, by the way, on this, because that quote definitely stood out to me too. But we spent a lot of time lately talking about all players are only in it for the money. They're only in it for the money. They're only in it for the money. And now a coach, in theory, could be in it for the money. I would understand why someone would look at that and say, I don't get that. Not to mention, on top of it, and again, devil's advocate, that was a weird quote. We thought he was going to retire. They thought he was going to retire. And so now he's taking this. I wonder if there is a little bit of that's actually driving maybe that opinion of, man, he was going to retire and he's going there. And while the coach doesn't say, yeah, I guess he's getting paid though, maybe that's the reason why that quote came off like it did, because the coach is actually frustrating. He's just doing it for the money.
Maybe, but and I'm not trying to denigrate Pitt in any way, but do we really expect that last year is going to be the start of some kind of, Pittsburgh revival?
Well, you could say the same thing about Nebraska though.
No, but again, money.
Yeah, for sure.
Whipple said he's wanted to coach in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a new challenge. And assuming and judging by what we're hearing anecdotally, a chance to run the offense? That was my biggest question in the whole conversation of who is Frost going to get as offensive coordinator. Well, how much is Frost going to give up, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to be an offensive coordinator, who's going to have someone constantly looking over their shoulder and, wanting to meddle a little bit? From all indications, it sounds like this is Whipple's deal. And I can only, and if you're going to argue, well, but you didn't see practice, how do you know that's actually going to be the case? Well, let's also look at the fact that Mark Whipple was allowed to handpick the quarterback that they're recruiting next year. The kid he already had a relationship with.
That's the best argument that it is going to be his offense.
When you've got a Power 5 level recruit in your own backyard that you could get for next year if you wanted to. And I'm not even mentioning Dylan Raiola at this point. I mean, that's even off the table. But the fact that in the 2023 class, Mark Whipple and the quarterback that he already had the relationship with is the one they're bringing in. To me, that seems to indicate that, hey, here's the keys, Mark. Go. Now, maybe what happens on the field this fall will prove me wrong.
Well, I was going to say, it's easy to say this in April.
But I'm only going off what I see, right?
Sure.
But I don't know. I just why would Mark Whipple come here? Well, why wouldn't he come here?
I mean, again, I think it's about money, because if you look at this situation on the outside, it's hard to expect it to improve. So maybe this coach is looking at Whipple and saying, why would he want to go there, a place that is bad? Why would he want to go? And the money, I get the money, but people don't like others just doing something for the money. That bothers people. Again, name, image, likeness, this whole conversation. It's being driven by money. People don't like it when their favorite pro athlete will go somewhere because of the money. So I get if a coach is like, why would he go there? Outside of the money.
Coaches do it all the time.
I was going to say, yeah, for sure. There's a whole lot of inconsistencies. That's life, right?
If this assistant got double his salary to go somewhere, they would probably take that job too.
Absolutely.
The other part of the quote was that everything going on
too.
Just bizarre. You've got receivers that are leaving.
Well, no, can I pause real fast? I want to go back to the start of it again. What a player thinks. That was the weird one to me.
Right.
You think the players are like, why, Coach, you were with Kenny Pickett. Why'd you come here? They're not thinking of it that way. They're college players.
I can name two players that obviously weren't thinking that way.
Yeah, Casey Thompson and Shubba Purdy. Exactly. Yeah, that part was weird. All right, anyway, back to the second half.
Then the second part, he says, you've got receivers that are leaving, and you've got a quarterback that's leaving. And it's fine. Again, looking at it from the outside, you can say, hey, man, they just lost, a highly touted in-state player and Xavier Betts, and they lost their 4-year starting quarterback. Well, once again, you're starting fresh, new offensive coordinator. They just pulled a starting quarterback from a Power 5 school and another guy who's got 4 years of eligibility remaining.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's funny. Thinking that the season is going to go poorly, fine opinion to have. I have no issue with that. The reasoning of this coach, though, was odd. It was like, oh, okay, it was almost like he reverse engineered his thought. I think they're going to be bad. Let me find a couple of reasons. Because look,
because sometimes, you've already gone into it with the idea of my synopsis is this team's going to be bad. And now I'm going to go and find, here's one example and two examples.
Correct.
Because you've already written your conclusion. Now you're going back and putting in your examples.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And look, Adrian Martinez, that loss, that could end up being the reason that they do or don't make a bowl game. We don't know. But again, it did. Look, I don't think Xavier Betts is going to be the reason that Nebraska does or doesn't make a bowl game. I don't think that he's going to be the swinging player, if you will, that causes them to miss it or would have allowed them to make a bowl game.
Now, here's the part that's interesting, and it was kind of coincidental that this came on this day this story came on this day because I saw there was another tweet thread that Matt Brown, I believe this is author Matt Brown, who we're having on the program tomorrow. He tweeted out today that Nebraska went 3-9 last year with an average point differential of plus 5.2, equal or better than 5 teams that have finished in the top 10, and he lists 5 different teams of the last 40 years who finished top 10 in the country who had an average point differential of plus 5.2.
Mm-hmm.
And someone responded to that with a tweet that said Nebraska went 3-9 last year with the worst special teams in the country, an awful red zone offense, a negative turnover margin, ran the quarterback into injury, Adrian, and if not for a 49-point win against Northwestern, but they had a positive score differential matters. They beat 2 group of 5 teams in Northwestern. They need a full overhaul. So this is someone kind of throwing a bucket of water on the whole, point differential. And
well, yeah, they won their games by 45 points, 25 points, and 49 points. That's why they had a positive point differential. If you went, so what's that combined? 49 plus 25, you're looking at 74 right there, plus another 45. I mean, you're looking at well over 120 points or 120-ish points just on those 3 wins alone. They won those by like an average margin of victory of 40,
And then it ties back into what the anonymous coach had to say when he concluded with Mitch Sherman of The Athletic. They will hang their hat on the fact that they lost all those games by single digits. That's the culture. Yeah, we were 3-9. Yeah, we were 1-8 in the Big Ten, but we lost all those games by 1 score, and we were right there. You can't make the argument they're a long ways from being there just because of the little thing.
Well, okay, that's a fascinating quote. The first part about it is something.
I'm sorry, I think I misread it. I said you can make the. He's saying you can make the argument they're a long ways from being there just because of the little things.
And the first part, read the first part of that quote one more time.
They'll hang their hat on the fact they lost all those games by single digits. That's the culture. Yeah, we were 3-9. Yeah, we were 1-8 in the Big Ten, but we lost all those games by 1 score, and we were right there.
So last season, you essentially said that thing without saying it exactly that way, because you asked a question, I know, late in the year of a lot of our guests, like, is him maybe continuing to push this? I guess I don't remember how you phrased it, but you did kind of put that on them. Like, if you are celebrating losing close in a way, and I'm paraphrasing you, but if you're celebrating this, does that seep into your mindset, just a little too much? And I'll also add on top of what that coach said, something that I've been thinking about a lot ever since the move was announced, with 2 games to go. And that was that they're firing 4 offensive coaches. They're going to bring in a bunch of new coaches. And of course, the special teams. Saying they're close and then making all these moves, those opinions are butting heads. Those opinions butt heads because how can you be close and need a full offensive overhaul or a full special team? So they overhauled one side of the ball and then a phase of the ball. I don't know if you want to call special teams the side of the ball, but they overhauled a lot. And then
I did. I mean, I mentioned that several times. How if things were so close, why were there so many changes? And it's interesting you say that because yesterday on his radio appearance, he was asked a question about the changes and what tweaks needed to be made to, turn the close losses into wins.
I think if you believe you're doing things the right way, which we do, I think drastic changes are a mistake. Tweaks are what you need. Not being stuck in your ways, but looking for ways to improve, ways to do things a little bit different. We can't change the basis of what we do or how we do it, because I've seen it work before. It has worked. It will work. It does work. And particularly as close as we were in almost every game last year, we're always just looking for one little way to get that much better. And, major drastic changes probably aren't what you need.
And yet, wouldn't you say that they kind of made some major drastic changes? Unless the offense.
I mean, when you change out your quarterback, change out half your entire offensive
coordinator,
those are pretty major changes.
So you have a new offensive coordinator, a new special teams coordinator, the other coaches on the offensive side of the ball, a lot of players. Now, some of those were the players' doings, and some of them were, just graduation rates in general. But yeah, it just seems to go against each other. It seems to butt heads.
Yeah, I'd like to hear him expand on that. If someone would follow up and say, well, but isn't changing out, 4 different offensive coaches and turning over the offense to a new set of eyes.
But it doesn't that part go back to maybe why there's a lot of doubt that it's not his offense anymore? If it's a tweak, it makes it seem like Whipple is doing Scott Frost karaoke. where it's still his playbook, but maybe it's a different guy calling the plays. And that can give you a whole lot of different results, right?
Sure it can.
I could say,
hey, listen,
your recipe, but I'm going to make a different thing than you probably would make.
Absolutely. I mean, even if the playbook never changed, and they've already acknowledged it's changed because they've changed some terminology, they blended some terminology.
And I think the quarterback run game is going to disappear.
But if the person mixing the ingredients is different, you're going to get, to some degree, a different result.
Mm-hmm.
At least a different one than you would have had if the other chef. You can follow the recipe to a T, but let's face it,
it'll be different.
But the problem is that, the calling of plays, if it's all coming from Mark Whipple, it's going to be different than it would have been with Scott Frost.
A couple of responses. Jed on the JTech Instructions Zone Twitter feed says that quote by Frost tells me all I need to know about how much control Whipple will have. Another under 500 season coming. Only need tweaks. Dude is 15-29. Yeah, man. Look, I don't think they're going to make a bowl, and I've been saying as much, and I'll continue to say as much. But I do worry that the way in which they lost last year lulled them into a false sense of security, that all it's going to take is little tweaks, because I don't think that is the case. They're a couple of late comebacks away against Illinois and against Purdue and in a way even against Minnesota from those games being blowouts. And I have wondered aloud, and I've wondered internally, if they lose those games by blowouts, how different is this offseason? Like, look, props to them. They took Ohio State to the brink. They took Iowa to the brink. I mean, they should have won the Iowa game.
Mm-hmm.
They did. This is not me trying to say like every game was a blowout, because it wasn't. They could have won the Michigan game. They had the ball with a minute and change to go, and then they fumbled it up. But they also were getting skunked by Illinois and by Purdue, and they got a couple of late scores. And so, yeah, I'm with Jed. Only need tweaks. That's why I kind of hope that he's just playing the game a little bit with us right now, because I think they need more than tweaks. One more email, because there was a quote from the anonymous coach, said bizarre, right? What was the phrase? Money Chris says it is bizarre. Yes, it's bizarre that any good coach would come to Nebraska who didn't have ties to the program. This program has nothing enticing other than possible ties that would bring someone back if they wanted to coach Nebraska. For any outside coach coming in, it looks weird as hell. It especially looks bizarre if he was retiring. The life of a college coach is that of a mercenary until you find a stable gig. But knowing this is probably a one-and-done year with a one-year buyout, money is the only possible factor. Talking about Whipple.
Do we think that money is the only reason these guys came here?
Well, I mean, you're the one who brought that up first, right?
I did, but I mean, that's one of them. But isn't there? I mean, it is. You are
hubris, ego, and
sure.
That's not
opportunity.
Yeah,
opportunity to turn it around.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, money's a huge deal. Don't get me wrong.
Now, you hit on something right there. Opportunity to turn it around. That has to just scratch the itch that these guys have. You want to matter. You come to Nebraska and you're a part of the group that turns it around. You're a legend locally, and it matters nationally.
Yeah. Now, Mickey Joseph might have different motivations than Mark Whipple, than any other incoming coach, because Joseph played here, so he's naturally going to have some different things, and Whipple's got different experiences. But yeah, there's other reasons too. I know we get kind of caught in our own little bubble that things are so rotten and awful around here, but I mean, Nebraska obviously still has some name recognition and still has some cachet. You yourself said it in the first segment, right? People enjoy watching. Yeah, they still matter.
Yeah, look, I'm not trying to say
Nebraska still matters more than Pitt, and Pitt just won an ACC championship last year.
Yeah,
matters in the sense of they still move the needle more than Pittsburgh does.
Yeah, I'm not trying to say that money is the only reason that he would have come here, but I do wonder how big of a part that played, because everything that I have been told is that, I mean, they thought he was retiring, and maybe he thought he was retiring. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. If you think you're about to, head out to Arizona for the rest of your life, and then you're like, I guess I'll come back and coach another time.
But we're sure. I mean, he was recruiting Chubba Purdy when he was still working with Pitt.
I'm just saying what I read out of the Pittsburgh press.
Coming up, we have a rather significant college sports flash next. And we'll take your comments on the other side at 402-951-1620. Back in a minute on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on The Crossover.
JR going to school, playing golf, and wearing Lululemon. They don't have any pants for fat people.
Like, what kind of flat fronts are these? Do you people not have curves? Like, where are you from? Oh, that's right. This isn't.
They should put a sign out on the door that says, you must be 180 pounds or less to get in.
Sharp and betting in the morning. The Connor Happer Show. Unsportsmanlike Conduct. 6A to 6P. 1620. The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from Canoyer Garden Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Sunny, breezy, and pleasant into this evening with the temperatures in the upper 60s. We'll be mostly clear tonight, drop back in the lower 50s for low. Still warm on Wednesday and breezy with highs in the mid and upper 70s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV Newswatch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More Time-Saving Traffic Center. A couple crashes to avoid this evening. We've got a report of a wreck on Harrison at 144th. Also a crash with injuries on westbound Giles at Eastport Parkway, and it's got traffic stopped from Harrison Street, so avoid the area if you can. Otherwise, stop-and-go traffic on westbound Dodge between 74th and 90th, and delays on northbound 90th between Blondo and Maple. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Saul's Jewelry and Loan.
Hey everyone, it's John with Saul's. Great jewelry is always in fashion, and we have it all at Saul's. From diamond bracelets to rings to earrings and those one-of-a-kind gold pieces that you can't find anywhere else, and so much more. Smart shoppers start here at Saul's.
Would you rather that your roof or siding last 5 years or 50 years? I'm Dan Thompson of Thompson & Thompson 3rd Generation. Products today last much longer. Gone are the days of just tear shingles off, nail shingles on. Whether it's impact resistant, high wind tolerance, or in the case of EuroShield hail-proof rubber shingles, you can have great designer looks and durability. At Thompson & Thompson 3rd Generation, we don't just give you an estimate, we educate you and give you options. So you decide, 5 or 50. Click Thompson 3rd today and start enjoying your new roof or siding.
When you shop at Baker's, you can double your savings because every time you shop, you'll earn fuel points that will help you save more at the pump. So you'll enjoy lower than low prices at Baker's, plus fuel points on all your favorite items, which makes doubling your savings easy. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply. See store for details.
We're hiring for immediate openings with next day pay, benefits, and great perks. Apply today at jobs.kroger.com/bakers.
Accidents are stressful enough without having to navigate the claims process on your own. This is Darcy with Dingman's Collision Center. Don't be misinformed by others about your legal right to choose your shop. Having a certified repair facility working in your best interest is the only way to trust you've received the safe, proper repairs you deserve. Remember, it's your vehicle, your safety, and it's always your choice. Dingman's is your choice if you are looking for a certified shop that puts the vehicle owner first. At Dingman's, we would rather be the best than apologize for anything less. Dingmans.com.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. You're driving along and some nimrod cuts you off. You hit the horn. Jeez, it sounds like a goose in distress. Time to head over to eBay Motors. They have horns for every make and model, not to mention horn pads, steering wheels, wiring, and more. 122 million parts. You can even go for an upgrade. Looks like Mr. Cutoff Man needs a new seat cover. Try eBay Motors, pal. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Did you know that radon is the #1 cause of lung cancer for non-smokers and that our region has some of the highest levels in the country? Radon Defense Midwest can test and fix your home. Visit radonradio.com for an exclusive offer for 1620 The Zone listeners. That's radonradio.com.
This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson.
It kind of jacks me up.
On 1620 The Zone.
Sports Flash.
Time for an Unsportsmanlike Conduct Sports Flash update.
Sports Flash.
From the Sports Flash Sports Desk.
From the NC2A Board of Governors. They don't have owners, they have governors.
Governors, good on them.
Hello, Governor.
Have announced
Sports Flash
that by mutual agreement with the board,
Sports Flash,
that Mark Emmert will be stepping down as president.
Sports Flash.
He will continue to serve in his role
Sports Flash
until a new president is selected.
Sports Flash.
So is this like
until June 30th, 2023. So if they can find a new president before then, he'll take over then. But by June 30th, 2023, he gone.
So is this a vote situation? Is it more like the Pope? Will there be white smoke? What's going to happen with
I
this?
don't know, but this doesn't seem like he's retiring.
No, it does not. A mutual agreement? That doesn't sound good.
Now, I know Mark Emmert has been a very popular target. And
Are you about to defend Mark Emmert?
No, I'm not defending him because obviously he's responsible for saying the things that he has said and, acting as he has acted. But like any other commissioner of powerful sports, his main job is to be the lightning rod to catch the heat.
He gets to say all the takes.
Roger Goodell takes the heat for all the owners when it comes to certain things.
Yeah.
Mark Emmert takes the heat from the membership for policies that they themselves, the membership, have created.
Yeah, I like this tweet from Alex Kirshner, who covers college football. He says, 1, Emmert has been exceptionally bad at his job, even worse than replacement level. The pileup of legal L's is a good illustration. 2, the only reason the next person would be better is if school presidents let them be. I think that's a good way to describe it.
Yeah, it is.
It's a tough job.
It is especially now, because you may be moving into a job that may not exist in a few years.
Great point. Mustache Adam, is Emmert retiring like Bill Moose retired?
Yeah.
Nice. Well done, Adam. Well done.
Though I don't know if we're going to see Mark Emmert driving any moving trucks and have people taking pictures of him at
He's
random
actually
gas
been in
stations.
Montana the whole time.
Yeah. No. This is definitely not a mutual parting of the ways.
No.
Here is Russ. Hi, Russ. Thanks for waiting. You're on the zone.
Hey, Russ.
How's it going, guys?
Good.
I'm going to have to take you on the carpet on there, Josh, and your analysis on those 3 games that could have been blowouts.
Yeah. Illinois, Purdue, and I guess what did I say? Minnesota?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a total different take on that.
Okay.
Nebraska is up 9-2, just had an interception, and in their territory, and they got the 30-yard penalty that moved him 30 yards down. I'm Caleb Tanner, because he taunted him.
Mm-hmm.
And then they tied the game up 30 seconds ago in the half. Adrian trying to make a play, and stupidly, they get a guy knocks the ball and they scoop and score. So that's how they took the lead. And then they had their only 2 drives of the game in the third quarter. Nebraska came up and down the field and actually had the ball with a chance to go to tie the game.
They're also down 30-9, though.
Well, we were up 9-2 with the chance to go up 16
in the first half. Yeah, I'm just saying it was 30-9 in the fourth.
I mean, if you watch the second half, after the first 2 times that they scored, Nebraska got their crap together and they pretty much dominated.
Russ, they scored with like 4 minutes left in the game to make it 30-16, dude. It was 30-9. Yeah, and that's the Russ. You're making the exact point that I'm making. If Nebraska doesn't get some late scores, what was the conversation that we'd be having? I'm guessing we're going to have a different discussion the entire offseason.
I'm just saying, if Caleb Tanner doesn't make a stupid play, Nebraska blows them out most likely.
But they always made stupid plays last year, Russ.
So you got to go with the score. We lost by 8. You can't say would have. That's
the
what
point.
you guys always say to me, okay? Minnesota, okay, played a terrible first half on defense. They dominated the second half. It was 21-16. Adrian scored, but they didn't have a view of it, so they couldn't overturn it. And then our freshmen stumbled on the 6-inch line. We stopped and got the ball.
Oh, that's right. They ran shotgun from the 6-inch line. I remember that.
But he couldn't run the ball because he had a high ankle sprain. That's coaching why the hell Smothers ain't in the game, right?
Yeah.
But that was a 5-point game, so I don't know where the blowout.
Well, because they were down by 2 touchdowns with 2 minutes to go.
I think the point overall, Russ, is that.
Okay, but let me finish this up, okay?
All right.
16, we're on the goal line. We stop them, get the ball back.
Is this Purdue you're talking about now?
We're down. They get a safety. We're down 6, Josh. We're trying to
game?
strip the ball late in the game to get the ball back, and the guy breaks loose for 56 yards.
Oh, the Minnesota
That
game.
was not a blowout, okay? And then when you're talking about the Purdue game, we're up 7-0.
You're describing the first half in all these games, Russ.
Mm-hmm.
He throws a pick 6. We're up at halftime over Purdue. You're just taking one part of the game where the team got up by more than one score, but Nebraska responded.
Yes, Russ.
Took three
Again,
top 10 teams
you
to
are
the wire.
you continue to miss my entire point for this whole discussion. That if Nebraska would have lost any of those games by double digits, what is the conversation that we are having? Because they can no longer hang their hat on losing every game by a point.
I understand that, but if they had any special
No, you
teams
don't
last
understand
year,
it. No, see,
and
now you're just
stupidity,
describing their
we're going
faults.
to a bowl game, okay?
Okay.
That's my point, too.
Great. Awesome, Russ.
So-
But they went 3-9, so that's not what happened. I'm sorry.
Whatever.
That's the point. The point is, without these late scores, all I was doing was a thought exercise of, I wonder how the discussion would have gone. Not, does this mean they're trash?
Right.
Just wondering, how would that have affected Trev Albert's decision? Or how would it affect Scott Frost's decision on which coaches to retain, and which coaches to fire? That's the point.
I'd love to go down this path again, but we're out of time.
Oh.
Because we want to get to some unsportsmanlike content and last night's Better Call Saul.
Oh.
We'll give you the spoiler alert. Don't worry if you haven't seen it yet. Win the $5,000 to give your garage a spring makeover or a $2,500 gift card from Langfelt Overhead Doors. Get all the details to win at 1620thezone.com. It's from Langfelt Overhead Door and 1620 The Zone.
Win $5,000 to give your garage a spring makeover or a $2,500 gift card from Langfeld Overhead Doors. It's the 5K Garage Makeover. Get all the details and enter to win at 1620thezone.com. From Langfeld Overhead Doors and 1620 The Zone.
Guys, let's face it, there is a time when you just need to get out of the house, to have your own place, to be with the guys, or just a quiet, relaxing place for yourself. Well, Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge hears you loud and clear. Settle in. Escape to Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge for an incredible selection, plus premium cocktails, a knowledgeable, friendly staff, state-of-the-art humidor, and incredible lounge. Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge, just off I-680 at 48th Street, next to Cubby's.
Get your Fernando's fix at 2 locations in Omaha for the best Mexican food, 70th in the Pacific and 114th in Dodge. Made fresh your way. You can even hear the fajitas sizzling, and you can also hear the fun of happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 5 p.m. The $10 taco basket, $2 off nachos, discounts off drinks, and always the home of the $6 margaritas at Fernando's, 70th in the Pacific, 114th in Dodge, and now the new home of the 1620 The Zone beer at 75th in the Pacific. It's Fernando's, online at fernandosomaha.com.
At Capal Mexican Cuisine, they're celebrating Cinco de Mayo all weekend long. Come to Capal Mexican Cuisine on Thursday, May 5th with live mariachi music. On Friday the 6th, a DJ plays on the patio. The rest of the weekend, there are new specials on cocktails and tequila. Then wrap up the celebration with a brunch on Sunday. Capal Mexican Cuisine, 129th in Maple, and at CapalLNK.com. That's CapalLNK.com. Capal Mexican Cuisine, traditional Mexican food with a modern touch.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. You're driving along and some nimrod cuts you off. You hit the horn. Jeez, it sounds like a goose in distress. Time to head over to eBay Motors. They have horns for every make and model, not to mention horn pads, steering wheels, wiring, and more. 122 million parts. You can even go for an upgrade. It looks like Mr. Cutoff Man needs a new seat cover. Try eBay Motors, pal. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Hello, I'm Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. If you've been dissatisfied with your current banking situation, maybe it's time to move to a bank that works to deserve your business. We have an engaged staff that offers exceptional personalized service. We also have a great digital banking platform. We have 2 locations at 108th and Dodge or 202nd and Pacific. So if you're looking for a superior banking relationship, give us a call at 402-827-8100. We'll answer on the first ring. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Brookside Medical Clinic. Is erectile dysfunction damaging your relationship? Are you sick of the pill and all the side effects? Well, welcome to the future. We have a major medical breakthrough. Brookside Medical Clinic uses the most advanced form of wave therapy. Backed by 60 clinical studies, our technology uses pressure waves to repair and open up blood vessels. We've helped countless men get rid of their ED. But what is the true end result? Their relationship, even their lives, improve drastically. If you're ready to regain your love life, call us right now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, we'll also give you a gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. It almost never fails. This is worth $550, and it's free to callers right now. 402-671-7777. That's 402-671-7777. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and experience what I call the happiness ripple effect. Call Brookside Medical Clinic now. 402-671-7777.
For Creighton Sports News, tune into Blue Jay Banter every Monday night at 6. And if 1 hour isn't enough for your Blue Jay fix, check out BlueJayBanter.com. Get up-to-the-minute recruiting news, commentary, and chat with other Blue Jay fans. That's Blue Jay Banter, Monday night at 6 on 1620 The Zone.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
Look, I made you some
Unsportsmanlike
content.
Unsportsmanlike content.
Unsportsmanlike content. Content that's unsportsmanlike.
Nick, what
John.
have we talked about today?
The NETS Nets.
Oh!
Were swept last night.
Oh.
And their season is done, folks. Is the Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving era. The furthest they've advanced is the second round of the NBA playoffs. How big a failure has this been?
I mean, so far, pretty damn big. Now, sounds like it's going to be run back next year. Maybe there won't be a pandemic still going on, so Kyrie won't have to worry about, the shot.
Maybe Ben Simmons will actually play.
Maybe Ben Simmons will actually play. Maybe Kevin Durant will stay healthy. And then they'll be fine. They'll be fine. Or maybe they won't. But so far, it's been a miserable experience.
You could make an argument, historically, this is the biggest failure of any franchise that's had like heavy expectations on them. A year that a lot of people will bring up is, I mentioned this season earlier, the 2004 Lakers when they lost to the Pistons. Karl Malone, Gary Payton joined Shaq and Kobe, and they lost in the finals, but they made it to the finals. This team, as Nick mentioned, has not even made it out of the second round. A fun what if. Kevin Durant, remember that shot last year where like his big toe was on the three-point line and thus it was only a 2? They don't win that game. They end up losing the series. They were that away from a conference finals, and they would have played the Hawks. They're definitely going to the NBA finals, and they might win the whole thing. And instead, a year later, oof.
Did you hear about this? Did you see this? Scott Frost was on a radio show last night. He once again stayed away from diving deep into the Thomas Fidoni's injury. Will he play football this season?
I am going to say no.
Scott Frost has a better chance of playing this season than Thomas Fidoni.
Yeah, I'm very concerned. I think that you had an interesting theory earlier as to why they haven't announced anything, and that's because they're worried it might be like a career type injury.
And again, it's
theory.
A possibility. I'm saying,
not going.
I'm
off
trying
of
to
any
figure
info.
out why we're playing so coy with this particular injury.
An
when
injury
it
that's like 2 months old almost.
where
now.
it's where everyone has pretty much covers.
We're
the
all
team
talking about
has
it.
said,
it's a knee injury.
It's a knee injury. He's out for the season.
Yeah, so I'll say no.
The Rams video department put out a draft trailer featuring Arnold Darnold,
Aaron Donald,
Matthew Stafford, Super Bowl MVP Cooper Kupp, and Dennis Quaid as Stan Kroenke. John, after watching it 17,000 times, how did you? What
This
did you
is
think about it?
fantastic. By the way, Stan Kroenke probably, paid someone. Well, he did. He paid the video department to have Dennis Quaid play him.
I was like, what?
No, it's Dennis Quaid.
Oh, my bad.
The handsome Quaid, not the crazy Quaid.
Are they related?
Yeah, they're the brothers.
Wow.
The Quaids are brothers.
Who knew?
But it's really good. It's kind of a Fast and Furious ripoff, and it's talking about how the Rams are going to steal the draft, even though they don't have a pick until the third round.
Sounds dorky.
It's really well done.
They don't draft.
It's really
That's
well
why they're
done.
gonna
You
steal
should
it.
you should invest the 2 minutes to watch it.
It's only 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's really well done.
Okay.
According to Andrew Marchand, Drew Brees could go from NBC to Fox ahead of the upcoming NFL season. Why?
So the way that Marchand breaks it down is that it might be because Brees now knows that he is going to be a studio guy for a little bit longer. I think that the plan was, of course, Al Michaels, that was going to be his last season. I think that they were hoping Drew Brees was going to do a really good job, but he kind of face planted in the playoffs on the Cincinnati-Las Vegas game. And I think that kind of changed their plans because then they ended up extending Chris Collinsworth as the analyst for Sunday Night Football. So I think that he just wants to call more NFL games. And according to Marchand, by the way, this does not mean that Greg Olson wouldn't be the lead analyst with Kevin Burkhardt, but perhaps he could join the number 1 crew, or at the very least, maybe be a part of the number 2 team. That is Drew Brees.
Well, would it surprise you if they made it a 3-man booth?
That would be interesting.
Well, if you remember when Joe Buck started, it was Joe Buck, Chris Collinsworth, and Troy Aikman.
Yes,
and then Collinsworth got the Sunday night gig, and it just became Joe and Troy.
Mm-hmm.
I think this, because listen, I've aired these grievances before. I really wish networks weren't so cavalier with just, hey, he's a big name, throw him in the booth, it'll be great.
Tony Romo really screwed a lot of things up.
You got lucky with Romo. CBS got lucky with Tony Romo that he was a somewhat natural right out of the box.
Yeah.
But most of these guys need some reps. They need some work. And just to throw them on the number 1 team where it's very easy for people, because it's the game where most people are watching, can be hypercritical about the announcers. Put him on some lower level games. Let him work his way up. Hell, they even did that with John Madden in the beginning. John Madden, who ended up being the greatest of all time, he didn't start with Pat Summerall right out of the chute. He worked a few games, and then they realized, hey, this guy's pretty good. This guy needs some reps.
Sadly, it doesn't work that way anymore.
Good news! While Wimbledon doesn't want any Russians around, they will let Novak Djokovic play in their tournament despite his unvaccinated status. So Russia bad, COVID good?
Apparently so.
Wow. Wimbledon here for COVID.
Well, remember, Djokovic couldn't play in the first major because of his vaccination status.
Mm-hmm.
And
Foggy London town, they're okay with it though.
Yeah, they're fine with it, but those Russians, no, we got to keep them out because apparently all Russians were for the war. So,
in all seriousness, I'm really happy that I'm not like a diehard tennis fan, because the push and pull of like the best player in the sport, sometimes being able to play, not being able to play, other Russian athletes, some of them are really good, not being able to play would annoy the hell out of me. Instead, it just annoys me as a human instead of like an actual tennis fan.
Phil Mickelson has registered to play in the U.S. Open and PGA Championships, but that doesn't mean he'll necessarily play in them, according to his agent. He's just keeping his options open. Do you think he will or should play?
Definitely think he should play. I don't know why he wouldn't. Yeah, you had a bad take. A lot of people have bad takes. Keep on playing golf. Will he play? I'll say no for the PGA, yes for the U.S. Open.
Well, because the U.S. Open's a major.
And not a minor. Man, it's crazy, though. He won the PGA last year. Imagine that, the defending champ not coming back. And it's not because of injury or retirement. It's because he put his foot in his mouth.
I think, and this is a strong theory,
okay,
Phil Mickelson is serving the Michael Jordan suspension.
Oh!
When Michael Jordan left basketball,
of course,
for baseball, it was because he was gambling.
I like that theory.
Now that's long been the speculation, but it's never been proven.
Yeah,
that
David Stern
secretly suspended him for his gambling problems. But would it surprise you if golf maybe
absolutely
sanctioned him?
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised in the least.
That's
Stay away
what
from
I
our
think's
sport.
happening here. So I think it depends how long the suspension is. But I'll say he does play at some point this year.
HBO's House of the Dragon cost under $20 million per episode to produce its 10-episode first season, which debuts August 21st. A source close to production told Variety. Will the show be good?
All right, here, I'm going to give you a reason why it might be good, John.
Please do.
And you're going to push up some pretend glasses on your nose.
Oh, we got another director here?
No. Nothing about that.
This is a Christopher Nolan.
No,
It's gonna
just
be
wait.
fantastic.
You'll still do it, but for a different reason. So, there's going to be that Lord of the Rings show on Amazon.
Oh,
right?
for
just
Christ.
hear me out. So that show is debuting in September. And so I've heard a theory that HBO, they know what they have on their hands, and they think they have a good show. They are trying to use a phrase from that series, usurp that show by debuting theirs just a little bit earlier and saying, hey, if you want fantasy storytelling, this is where you come. We have dragons and nudity. What are they going to have on Amazon? A bunch of elves running around.
They have Mount Doom.
No.
Oh, no.
Now,
it's
of course,
Mount Doom.
I'll be watching both. But that I thought was a solid theory for maybe why it will be good. They're staking their claim. Because they could have held it off. They could have waited. But then instead, they're like, no, we're coming first. I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to give at least the first episode a go.
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
I don't know.
We'll have to talk about it on the Monday show.
Will we?
Yes, there's not college football yet that weekend. The next weekend is Nebraska. That's how we can kick off game week. Game of Thrones.
Well, speaking of television, we can talk about.
Yes.
Friends, the next segment will contain spoiler alerts.
For winning bets.
Not for that. But for last night's episode of Better Call Saul. So you have been properly warned if you don't want to be spoiled. The guys from the Connor Happer Show are going to be on the road. They're going to be live at Werner Park this Friday from 10 to 2. So join them out there at Werner Park 10 to 2 for the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone and 1620thezone.com.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Searching for your next vehicle? Shop Woodhouse first. Over 1,000 pre-owned vehicles in stock and on our lots, with new trades arriving daily that you can explore on woodhouse.com. Plus, confidence comes standard when you purchase a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Woodhouse. With our multi-point inspection, transparent pricing, available add-on warranties, and financing options, purchasing a pre-owned vehicle has never been simpler. Experience the difference and drive away today confident and road-ready in your new vehicle from Woodhouse.
Hi again, everybody. Kent Pavelka, courtside, getting ready for this year's roofing season from the rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard, America's leading installer of Da Vinci roofs and roofs of all styles. We're expecting another year filled with good sportsmanship, fairness, and integrity. Make the right call with John Higgins Weather Guard, providing the highest level of customer service with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. It's tip-off time with the rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Kathy Kanoyer with Kanoyer Garden Center. The beauty and color of spring is in our greenhouse, featuring thousands of gorgeous hanging baskets and hundreds of varieties of Kanoyer grown product. Come in and let our family help you find what you are looking for. Whether it's home decor, annuals, perennials, shrubs, tropicals, or vegetables, we have it all. Kanoyer Garden Center between Highway 370 and Cornhusker on 66th Street in Papillion. Open daily, 9 to 7.
At Kanoyer Garden Center, everybody's got a green thumb.
Well, Nebraska, we knew it would happen. The political establishment and their dark money are flooding the airwaves with negative ads filled with lies. Their target, conservative Charles W. Herbster. They attacked President Trump. Now they're lying about Charles W. Herbster. Fact, Charles Herbster will cut taxes for all Nebraskans. His pledge, property taxes must be cut, and no new taxes on gas, medicine, or groceries. Fact, Charles Herbster has paid all his taxes and fees, every single penny. Fact, Charles is the only conservative candidate with the courage to finally fix our broken tax system, once and for all. The political establishment and dark money special interests, they won't tell you the truth. Charles W. Herbster is the only conservative who will cut taxes and fix our broken system. Paid for by Herbster for Nebraska.
Spring is in the air, but are you ready for summer? Team up with Genesis Health Clubs today and you'll be ready. We're inviting you to be your absolute best this summer. No compromises, no regrets, just you, full of the sort of confidence only fitness can bring. This is your summer to feel great, look great, and have more energy. Start your membership at Genesis Health Clubs and save $25 per month every single month. $25 per month every single month. Hurry, just 4 days left. This summer is for you. Get yourself mentally and physically ready for vacations, pool parties, and barbecues in just a few short months. But you don't have to wait. You can start to feel better and have more energy today while you work towards your fitness goals. You are worth it. Join Genesis Health Clubs today and save $25 per month every single month. Hurry, just 4 days left. Join Genesis Health Clubs today and save $25 per month every single month. Summer is coming, and this is going to be your best summer ever. But hurry, this offer ends soon. Go to GenesisHealthClubs.com or stop by the club today. Hurry, just 4 days left.
Having a great smile with straight teeth doesn't just feel good, it has real benefits, like more confidence at work and even improved swipe right potential. And you know what that means. And Bite makes it easy for everyone to get straighter teeth they've always wanted without even leaving home. Bite Invisible Teeth Aligners cost thousands less than traditional braces and are doctor-directed. Order your at-home impression kit from BYTE.com and get started today. That's BYTE.com. Be happy, be confident, be you with Bite.
1620 The Zone at 1620thezone.com. This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Gonna let that hang out there and just dangle.
On 1620 The Zone.
And you know why I'm laughing, don't you? Now, it's time for the Unsportsmanlike Conduct Bet of the Day.
Just a little bit under where some folks would like to see this one wind up.
Brought to you by nobody.
You gotta be kidding me.
Really, we don't have a sponsor. Sorry.
The Astros let John down. The 76ers let me down. And Nick somehow won.
Let's go Mets.
I was going to do a fancy-wancy parlay. I decided not to. Give me the Suns. Give me your Suns. The 16-2 Phoenix Suns in the playoffs. Maybe. Probably not. Give me the Suns -6. It pays -1.
I'll take the Braves and the White Sox +152.
Nick?
I want the Rockies. It's a live line +172 at the second.
All right. That's the bet of the day.
Iowa.
All right. Let's do this thing.
Again, spoiler alert.
Spoiler
If you did not see last night's episode, Rock in a Hard Place of Better Call Saul. I said at this moment yesterday.
Yes, you did.
I had a feeling that there was going to be a death. Now, I will admit, I did not think it would be a major one. We got a major one last night.
Again, spoiler alert. One more spoiler alert. All right, so yes.
R.I.P. Nacho.
R.I.P. So I'm watching this episode, and at a certain point, I started thinking, wow, I think this might be it for Nacho.
Yeah.
And I then remembered, because it went to a commercial, and I was like, John said there was going to be a death tonight. And then we get later in the episode, and it's like, wow, he's definitely going to die. I was like, did John spoil us on the show? And then he dies. And I'm wondering, because you spoiled us for Han Solo.
I didn't spoil
getting
anything.
murked in The Force Awakens back in 2015.
We were just reading Facebook updates. That's all we were doing.
Facebook updates. Don't blame Facebook for what you did on the
I was
air.
just reading Facebook updates.
But anyway, but you told me this morning.
No, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I just had a feeling after the first two episodes, I thought they're going to pick it up a little bit. Something, but I did not expect this.
No, you did not. And I want to read what you said to me last night, if that's okay with you. There's no curse words. He says, just finished it. Kind of glad his storyline is over. Time to focus on Saul and Kim. And when I first read that, I was like, man, kind of callous. And I'm sad. But then I thought about it overnight. I thought about it this morning. And I'm with you. I think that this is good for the show. It was obvious that he wasn't going to make it out alive.
Yeah, you knew that Lalo was, or I'm sorry, that Nacho was not going to survive. And you know,
his storyline with Saul, like, it's been so far in the rear view too. Like, everything with him, he was like this side character, a very interesting side character, but a side character nonetheless.
Which, by the way, was an accident.
Yeah.
There was never any intent to have this story arc. He was just going to be another, thug as part of the army.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Who was just going to be another guy.
And then,
but the actor, Michael Mando, who plays him, they really liked what they got out of him. It's very similar to what happened with Aaron Paul. The original plan for Jesse was he was going to die in the first season.
I believe it was maybe one of the first few episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
he had great chemistry with Bryan Cranston. His character was interesting, and they decided to keep him around.
They decided to keep him around, which is crazy when you think, because usually these shows, the whole idea of them is done, right? And they just go out and produce it.
Yeah.
But in some ways, they're making this show on the fly.
Exactly.
Just as they did with Breaking Bad. And the fact that they're able to make it so good by being able to call an audible and pivot on some major characters or minor characters that become major characters just goes back into the genius of the show.
And their ability to write that way.
But I don't know what you were thinking, but the first scene, the cold open, there's no audio, there's no, dialogue, there's no actors in it, but they're just panning through this, wasteland of, either New Mexico or Mexico.
Uh-huh.
And it stops with these flowers, and then you see a shard of glass that factors in later with, how Nacho ends up going down.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but as the camera was panning, I kept waiting. There's going to be a dead body here. There's going to be a dead body here. And there wasn't.
Yeah.
But
typical fashion for them, because they did this a lot on Breaking Bad, right? Where they would open with a shot. The one that I always remember is there are these, I don't remember what country it was in. So if either they were Americans or Mexicans, but they're digging through this muck and they find this.
They find the teeth.
And you're like, oh, what's this? How is that going to happen? And so then the story unfolds and you get it at the end. So I thought, wow, this is really cool. I love it when they do this. Or the episode where what's his name killed the kid. It starts with the spider crawling around. You're like, what's going on with this spider?
Right.
And then in the end, so yeah, I thought that cold open was really good. Also, the scene in the, what would you call it? The oil drum.
The oil drum.
Such a cool set piece where Nacho ends up hiding at just the perfect moment, and all the oil gets
submerges himself, holding his breath in oil to stay away from the cousins.
Yeah.
The thing though that is going to be interesting, because the way Nacho goes down, he basically, he goes down a blaze of glory to, cover up for Gus so that Gus isn't implicated in the attempted assassination of Lalo.
Yeah.
And he basically tells the Salamancas, hey, Hector, I put you in that chair, which was a badass scene.
Great scene.
But I think something's got to happen here, because the whole idea that he wanted to cover for Gus was to save his dad.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
what's going to happen with his
dad? The Salamancas are going to go after Nacho's dad, aren't they?
Yeah. Ugh.
So I hope they resolve that part of it. But now it's going to be Jimmy and Kim and
Another
Mike and
episode.
Gus, because we got to get Mike and Gus's story back online. Great show last night.
Bye.